the last time on the wilds of Valandiir, after venturing east through the Garden of Mist in search of Koza's long-lost daughter, Neela, the Crown Collectors came upon his ruined village, the annihilated Lunar Garden clan. Destroyed and abandoned, victims of the Walking Rot death cult, our heroes battled and laid to rest the wandering spirits of Koza's clan. After finally making contact with Neela, Koza led the group several days' travel north to the lake town of Cobb, hoping to reunite with his family once and for all. And that's where we're going to pick up. The party is currently atop horseback, except for Maven, who is atop big lizard back, dragon drake back. You had just finished a conversation with a gentleman kind of sitting on... Now, a little bit of time has passed, so I've had some thinking to do, and the topography of Cobb is interesting. You now sit uphill to the trail that leads down a very slight grade, but you can see far in the distance, far in the distance, because if I remember correctly, we did discuss how big and wide this whole area is, just to give you guys an idea of what kind of land you're dealing with. So I'm on the map now. I'll put you guys on the map too, just so you can see what I'm doing. It's not a big deal. Measure, this whole map is set for miles. And no snap too, so it's going to give me like an actual measurement. From where you guys are, you're probably like really on the coast. It's a good, 15, 16 mile journey. So you're talking about from where you are on horseback, it is going to be a day's travel inland towards the tip of this peninsula that kind of stretches out into this horseshoe-shaped lake. So, let's see. Barynor is going to be on, I think he's on horseback with Luna beside him. Steph, if you want to go ahead and give me an animal handling check, because as you kind of finish your conversation with this fisherman about, who you can go see for work or news, like who the head honchos are, you guys were told that there is a Reverend Thanley that kind of holds quite a bit of sway of not only land ownership, but also influence in the town. Didn't really get a sense for his character one way or another from this guy. He just kind of pointed out who he was. So,
for Barynor,
I think for Barynor we're going to need a animal handling check. As you guys kind of like all sort of gather on the trail that leads, pretty heavily worn trail, by the way. It's much more of a road at this point. The wide open landscape of the Waning Meadow that you guys had just gotten here from is much more wide and open space, whereas this is a little, you can tell the peninsula is about 6 miles across. So, there's set ways in and out of here, and since you're on the edge of this lake down here, So what do we got? Animal handling. All right, 18. With an 18, I'm going to say Barynor definitely kind of looks down over at Luna, and she's carrying pretty heavy. Looks like she might be having more than one cub. I don't know what the common amount of cubs a wolf will have. But if somebody wants to run those numbers, I'd appreciate it.
I got it.
But she definitely looks like she's carrying a decent litter.
Looks like 5 is the normal amount.
Okay.
4 to
All right, well,
26, yeah.
Maybe it looks like she's carrying a little under then. I didn't know it was quite that high. All right, so, but she's definitely carrying low. It's starting to sway, and she's kind of waddling a little as she travels. And you do see that on your left and to your right, this area looks a little forested. There are sparse trees. It looks like there's kind of a grove to the east side of this shore of this peninsula that maybe hugs the shoreline. This grove looks like it's made of thick foliage, deciduous trees, dark green leaves, kind of low-hanging branches. And you see her kind of like, she's kind of belaboring her walk, and she kind of looks up at Barynor, and she kind of sits for a moment, and you see her kind of panting, and he just kind of leans over to her and scratches her ears and says, guys, I think maybe we could find somewhere to kind of stay close to trees, because I don't know. She's starting to show signs, and I may want to help assist her. I'm assuming that we could either catch up with you or meet someplace in town. I don't know. What do you guys think?
If she needs to stop here, then we are of no place to interrupt nature. So, if you need to meet us in town, that should be fine.
All right. Well, let's see here. And he's gonna toss a couple of items to Kravish and to Maven. And he's gonna toss. Actually, he's gonna kind of toss some to each of you. Let me go through his magic items. This is gonna make Bogey really upset. I'm doing it anyway.
I'm gonna text him. He's gonna be real mad.
He's gonna toss the flaming dagger that he took off of the Fire Realm. He's gonna toss that to Maven. And gotcha. Let's see. He's also. Does he have? I believe he has the Orb of Farsight, or at least he was mentioning it. So he's gonna toss that to Kravish. And he's gonna throw a couple of his health potions. I think he has at least one or two. He's gonna toss those to Koza. And I think unless he's got, I don't think I can get on his. Can I get on his character sheet? Maybe I can.
I don't think he has
all his stuff.
Does he?
I don't think he has a lot of stuff, but he's just kind of distributing stuff like, here in case you need it, I'll be fine. We're gonna head east into this thick, like it's lightly forested, but it looks like you can kind of get into the middle of it, disappear from like this view from where you are. Let's see here. No, he's not giving you his gardener's bow. He's not giving you any of his other daggers. I have to respect him in that much. Let's see. Yeah, he's got the Copus, but he's going to hold on to that too. That's probably going to keep him alive. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all he does. He throws you guys those items. Axton is going to like kind of keep a wide perimeter of the group, kind of walking like side to side and keeping an eye on stuff. At some point in your journey, he's going to spark his glittery kind of see-through ghosty platinum wings from bird wings from his back and take flight for that's 10 minutes, right, Ken? Flight is 10.
Sorry, couldn't click the button. Yep, 10 minutes concentrated.
Yeah, at some point he's gonna kind of fly through the air and sort of patrol the area once you guys kind of take off. You do see Barynor and Luna looks like she's walking briskly, but she's not running anymore. So Barynor on his horse is gonna kind of escort her. He gives you a wave. He says like, "Good luck. Save me a seat somewhere and order me a drink for when I get there." And he's going to take off with her to the east as you all face the plains of the Waning Meadow here on the peninsula of Cobb. Is there anything you guys would like to do on this first part, or I guess this only part, of your journey north along the peninsula? Let's see here. What do you say? Anybody? Anything?
I can't think of anything.
Me neither.
Okay.
Me neither.
All right. So, I am going to need... I'll roll for Axton, because he's got wicked good perception. But I'm going to need a survival or perception check from at least two of you. Anybody else, if you're proficient in either of those, will be fine.
I'm pretty good with survival.
Okay.
All right.
17 for survival.
Great
Okay.
first roll.
That is good.
23 perception.
All right. So the topography here is Like I said, you're sloping slightly downhill, but it's not that even. You see, as you're kind of scanning the area, it is kind of, it's not a tiny little peninsula where you can like really see either end. Like if you scan left and you scan all the way right, you can kind of see the edge on either side where the lake would be. But you guys are kind of barreling straight up the middle of this peninsula, and it's a little hilly, or generally uneven downhill towards Cobb, which you do look now, and you can see this in the I guess it would be the extreme distance. You see what looks like a very faint column of black in a couple of places. Way, way, way in the horizon distance, sort of fading into the horizon where it makes it difficult to see it. But you do see before you, perhaps maybe an hour ahead, you see like these fainting trails of dust as it looks like something in the distance, rather large, is moving through the terrain between the lake sides. You see that in a couple of places. You also do see, as the trees sort of disappear behind you where Barynor took Luna, you start to see farmland and like these rectangular or geometrically shaped crop fields that sort of line the shore on either side of you. Not a lot of foot traffic, although you do pass people. You see somebody that looks like maybe a dwarf on a pony pulling a small wagon, and he just kind of tips his hat. He's wearing a strange hat. It's got a thin brim with a kind of a bowl top. Not something you guys see a lot of. I mean, you watch Kervish around in a kind of a musketeer's cap, or a musketeer's wide-brimmed hat with a feather in it. This is a little simpler. And you see also what looks like an elven woman with a hood who is riding a four-legged lizard creature. It's not exactly like Sundancer, and I'm gonna want Maven to go ahead and make me an animal handling check as Sundancer becomes agitated or surprised in some way of this creature. This thing has kind of like blue-green scales, a very short, stumpy tail, big hind legs that kind of raise the rump up a little bit as she rides it, and it has kind of these large, bony plates on its forehead that kind of protrude out about a foot in either direction, and just an arm from the wrist to the tip of the elbow covered in blue feathers. And 13. Okay, so Sundancer is gonna like kind of buck you off a little bit as he kind of rears, seeing this creature. It is bigger than him by about maybe 4 or 5 feet. So yeah, he kind of knocks you off his saddle a little bit. You're a monk, so I'm not going to even make you roll. You do kind of catch your footing, slide back a couple feet, and he just kind of barks at this thing like kind of like you get the emotional connection that he's curious what this is, and what do you call yourself, and I'm Sundancer, and you can call me Sunny, and hey, let's play.
I'm going to just reiterate all of that so that they kind of, like, everybody knows what's going on. And try to calm him down.
He just wants to play.
He does. He's a baby. He's a tiny baby.
Sure, you'll suffer third-degree burns if you try to pet it, but...
Yeah, you're carrying that. You're carrying that necklace. You're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah. So Sunny kind of he sticks his tail up in the air and wags it a couple times like a puppy trying to play. This thing is not even looking at him. It actually has these really cool silver-lined blinders to sort of keep its vision focused forward. And this elven woman with this huge kind of large upturned bun, kind of pinned with a silver pin with a kind of a top knot above it. She's wearing a very nice-looking blue velvet sort of lady suit with sort of a flowing skirt with a pair of trousers that sort of cap with these big black sort of mannish-looking silver-lined boots. And she sort of snaps her reins, and she's got like heavy eye makeup and very red lips. And she just kind of looks down her nose at all of you, and she's like, huh. And she just continues on her way south out of this peninsula. You see that, you also notice that she looked a little disheveled, like her hair was a little kind of like little flings sticking out here and there, and maybe the pin was loose, and looks like she's maybe ridden a little rough on her way out of there. But yeah, it's not until you see sort of a closeness of that dust trail that you see that it's what look like a herd of creatures, probably about the same size and roughly the same shape as this large lizardy creature that you just passed. It's tough to make out. They're probably about maybe half a mile away. Just riding along the trail. Upon close inspection, you see that some of these farming fields have some kind of structure attached to them. Maybe a house, a farmhouse, and maybe barns and silos and things like that. You also noticed, too, that the further north you came from, like, where Vorn is, back, south where the Grasping Ridge left you, that it was starting to get warmer, even how further north you were going. I'd say the only one who really noticed it was Barynor and maybe Axton, as it's like, seems like it's getting a little warmer than you're used to it being at this time of year. The snow is still sort of scattered and hiding under like shadows and logs and stuff like that. But for the most part, looks like the snow is sort of starting to melt away. Yeah. So, let's see here. Okay. After about maybe 4 or 5 hours of travel, you see another one of these kind of clouds of dust as this large moving herd of animals starts to kind of cross your path. The topography is hilly, so you didn't really see. You're kind of in a bit of a valley where you didn't really see that far on the horizon from where you're at, and these animals started to kind of cross your path one by one. And then you notice a humanoid creature atop what looks like a sort of domesticated version of these creatures. And you get a better look at them now. They have kind of a medium-length, tapered tail. They stand about maybe 11 to 12 feet tall. They have four sort of elephant-like feet. They've got a beaked lizard-like face with sort of horns that protrude from their forehead and a huge bone crest that extrudes behind their head and sort of protects their neck. And you see a humanoid sort of atop one of these things, and he just kind of like sees you and kind of stops where he's at, and you hear him kind of whistle to somebody behind him. And he just sort of holds up his hand at you all. What do you all do?
Wait.
Okay.
Slow down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys weren't kind of moving at a fast clip. You were sort of traveling along the peninsula here, along the land. It's not hard for you to stop. And that's when you see the bulk of this herd. Just sort of, and it starts to get loud, this deep rumbling in the earth beneath your feet. As these creatures crest this hill and just flood your view with them. They're multicolored. Some are sort of a slate blue, others are sort of an earthen red. There's kind of green patterns, gray patterns. Some of them have blotches, some of them have stripes. It seems a little diverse. And they sort of pass by you, and as they pass onto another corner, you see two more of these humanoids. One looks like he might be a half-orc. He's riding a large draft horse, kind of like something that Koza would ride, and he's the one who sort of approaches you all as the bulk of this herd is passing. He's like, "Morning to you."
Morning.
"So, you coming in or leaving?"
Coming in. From the looks of it, looks like you guys are heading out.
Well, more to east to west, kind of across the peninsula for grazing, sure.
Oh, okay. You'll have to forgive us. From where we hail from, we've never seen animals quite like this. What do you call them?
They're Eliops, of course. You've never seen a dinosaur?
From where we hail from, no.
And where is that exactly?
We're from parts further west.
Ah, you strike me as Imperials. And he's kind of looking at
Just kind of shrugs. Very non-committal.
Yeah. He's going to shrug back. He's going to kind of lean back on his saddle and sort of keep his balance on his little saddle horn. And just kind of lean around and he like glances an eye back at his herd every now and then. It looks like it's starting to taper off and thin in numbers as two more, now about maybe 5 or 6 of these horse-backed humanoids. Looks like there's another dwarf on a regular horse, but it's looks like there's a lot of hooks and there's rope attached to it. And then there's like an elven guy, maybe a half-elf guy. And there's a couple of these two dark-haired female, perhaps humans, that are sort of riding side by side, and you see them kind of snapping a whip at a couple of these beasts that are being wrangled. And he just kind of leans back and keeps an eye, and he's like, "Well, we're from the Markford Corporation. If you have any cattle or livestock needs, you just go ahead and see one of our agents in town.
We'll be sure to look you up if we need it."
And it's about that time that there's probably maybe like 10 or 15 dinosaurs that are sort of straggling behind everything. And you see a group of four small kind of maybe gnome or halfling riders that you didn't see before because they were hidden by the bulk of the herd, sort of peel off to their left as they move east from west. And it looks like there's a couple of smaller dinosaurs that are sort of being kind of kept in check with them. And it looks like they've broken loose and they're trying to kind of wrangle them free or wrangle them back to the herd. These groups kind of pass by you on the right, but this group is kind of going in the same direction that you are. And you see one of the smaller beasts actually take a fall, a tumble, and roll to its side. And you hear it. And these 4 humanoids, they kind of see you and they kind of beckon you for assistance real quick. They're like, you there, can you offer us some help?
Yeah, sure. I'll ride up to where they are.
Okay. They're kind of on what looks like kind of a mini valley, sort of like a bowl carved into the earth here. And there's like grasses and bushes and boulders sort of dotting the landscape here. You can kind of see where the central road kind of is diverted to or from this area, but this is sort of off the beaten path a little bit. And you see 4 of these Eliops creatures. They look a little younger, and it looks like the 3 of them are surrounding a 4th, and it's laying on its side with its leg kind of bent a little funny. You hear it crying. And these 4 smaller gentlemen, smaller humanoids, they have all got similar garb to what the half-orc agent was wearing, which is a little unusual. You guys really haven't seen this fashion yet before, but he's wearing what looks like long leather chaps with sort of fringe on all up the sides. Looks like it makes it easy for moving around acrobatically on a horse. Makes it real comfortable. They also have just these plain white or tan or black button-up long sleeve shirts. The sleeves are a little flowy at the edges. They're not exactly as tight as they are today. And they all have just loops of rope that are kind of lashed to their saddle. And they have on these very, very interesting hats. All of them seem kind of a little different. But what they all have are very wide brims. It looks like Kravish kind of... You recognize this a little bit. None of them have any feathers. And both edges are curled or both edges are flat. They've kind of got a dimple in the top of the hat in some of the cases. Some of them are flat on the top. And it seems like everybody has a hat. You haven't seen anybody without one yet. And they're just kind of tending to these creatures. One of them kind of glances up. He's got sort of a little chin beard, little pointy ears, and a big, sharp, pointed nose. You get the sense he's probably a gnome. He just kind of looks up. He's like, "Well, any of you healers? I see you're definitely not of the coming around these parts sort."
I can do a little bit of healing.
All right. Well, this one here looks like he stepped into the gopher hole and, might have just twisted his ankle funny. So, if you could give me some assistance here, I'd heartily appreciate it. Compensate you for your time.
Sure. I'll come up there and I'll throw, I don't know how big this thing is, but I'll cast, like a healing word.
Okay. Let me see here. I think I can bring you up. I think you've got a decent character sheet. Yes, you do. Spells. Healing word. That's going to be a level 1 spell. Bam. Okay. Kravish, you heal the creature for... let's see here. Oh, it didn't do it. If I click it, it should work. Level 1, submit. There we go. 5 points. I'd say fall damage on a young Aliops is probably going to be much helped by 5 points of healing. And you see this creature just sort of, as your magic weaves into it, not only are you kind of impressed with the ease at which this young creature kind of stands on its 4 legs. It looks like it's kind of favoring its front right leg a little bit still, but it's able to get its weight under it. And you hear a kind of a hushness of the surrounding kind of bird life and stuff like that. And you can all hear that rumbling. But it sounds like it's coming from like the left or to the right, and it's behind you, and it's also in front of you. And you see several of those Aliops, the adults, and that you see 2 or 3 of them sort of skitter across the landscape in front of you and run away frantically. You hear the young Aliops stop whimpering, looking around in all directions and kind of hunching. And you see these 4 halflings, or halflings and gnomes, sort of perk up on their horse and say, "Oh, no. Might have some company here, fellas. Ready your irons." And you see them pull these single-shot, shotgun or blunderbuss-looking weapons from their hips. And one of them has what looks like a stick of dynamite in his hand and a little torch, like he's getting ready to throw something. Over the horizon, you see the top of an immense kind of reptilian head. It has 2 small, beady little eyes on the upper sides of its head, and a large, wide jaw of razor-sharp 4-inch teeth. It is currently closed as it swings its head left to right, and you hear its footsteps crest the hill. It looks down at you. It's about maybe 100 feet away, and that's when you notice the exact same sound directly behind you. Turn your heads and you see another larger beast, this one with 2 tiny horns above his eyes. Just kind of regards all of you and zeroes in. And he opens his wide mouth and roars. And then you look to your right and you see another creature. 2 legs, small front arms. You find yourselves surrounded. Let us go to the map, where you will all roll initiative. All right.
Good deed.
Oh, be doobie. You guys can place yourselves, and Corey, I got you. You can place yourselves anywhere you want around this central square of creatures.
That's great.
I will move probably Axton. Yes.
I got a 16 for my initiative.
Okay. I think I have to turn the grid back on so that we can place ourselves properly. Hold, please. Yeah, I do. Okay. All right. That should make it a little easier. Please let me know if you're having any trouble moving yourself onto the map or while you're on the map. Maven, I'm going to make you regular size.
Oh, come on. I want to be real tall.
All right, I gotta get Corey. Does anybody else need assistance? All right. Hello. I don't see anybody else's minis on there. Unless I'm going blind. Koza? Yuno's muted. I'm gonna assume that.
Oh yeah, I just realized I was muted too. It won't let me put mine down either.
Okay, this is the stuff I need to know. I don't see Yuno, so I'm assuming he's AFK, perhaps. I'll do the Conodoners. Maven, you have access to Sundancer for this fight, just so you know.
Oh, I do.
Yes, you do.
Cool.
We're fighting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
It's a dinosaur.
Ignore that.
All right, Koza, where would you like to be?
We'll say I'm right next to Kervish. So like right here.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's roll initiative.
Let's rock this joint. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, come
Turn
on.
order.
I always roll crap initiative.
Okay. Koza, you said you got a 16? Or not Koza,
No, I
Kervish.
got a 9.
I know. Kervish, you said you got a 16?
16, yes.
All right. And let's give one to... Oh, get out of here. Not fighting ghost people. There we go. That was last week. He gets one to you. Maven, do you know his attacks and stuff? You got that all sorted out?
I do not.
Okay.
All of my stuff,
That's okay.
deleted. I had to re-enter my name on my character sheet.
Well, he's got a +5 strength-based bite.
Okay.
All right, that does 1d10 piercing, 1d4 fire.
Okay.
He also has 2 claw attacks. You could choose to do a bite or 2 claw attacks. They're both +5, and they're both 1d6 damage slashing.
Okay.
That's what, and he's got. I'm gonna say, just because I don't think it's gonna matter, he has the same speed as you because he's fast as well.
Okay.
He's very, very fast.
What was the claw attack? Sorry, I'm writing it down.
The claw. So both of his attacks are 5 +5 strength base attacks. His bite is 1d10 and 1d4 fire, and his claw attacks are just 1d6 each.
1d6. Okay.
Yeah, and it's one attack for both. You just got to roll once to see if you hit.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Axton. Yep. There are some of you who have the ability to summon creatures to help you in fighting. I would urge you do that because it gives you extra damage and stuff. I think the only person that does not have a pet is Kervish and Axton.
Yep, no pet and no means to someone.
You are your own pet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I cannot access Axton's character anymore. I wonder if he deleted it. So, that's fun. Oh, no, there it is. He has a terrible initiative. Holy crow. All right. And, sorry, he also has a +5 to his dex, so you can add that to his initiative, Maven.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am.
Sorry about that. Meant to say that. Okay. So one of these creatures emerges from right here. Right over this hill. He is considered large. His buddies, however, are not. They are considered huge. One arrives here and roars at you. Rah! The other one approaches from behind you. That is gargantuan. That's not so. It's not that. There. Behind you here. Through a tree. And it looks at you. Rawr. Okay. I think that's everybody, unless I haven't given them a turn, which I don't believe I have. Let's do it.
We're rolling initiative.
What's that?
Oh, Yuno's back, so I was just telling him we're rolling initiative.
Roll an initiative.
And we're in the land of the lost.
There are
It's going to be
dinos.
16.
Okay, let me put you on the map. Oh, no, you're on the map. Let me put you in the order. With a 16, good sir. Nice. Okay, and what do these weird creatures get? That's pretty good. They do get a decent initiative. Okay, that's everybody. Let's descend and start. Top of the round. Maven, atop of Sundancer. He doesn't flinch at these guys. He actually kind of like digs his claws into the earth and readies, and you notice that he kind of shivers a little bit to kind of settle his scales as he gets ready for defending himself. What do you wish to do first?
Okay, I would like to hop off. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Hop off and run up to the one on the bottom of the screen.
All right. That's just going to cost you 15 feet.
That's
all?
fine. It's more than enough for me. There we go. And then I'm going to...
I'm going to change Sundancer's to 16.1 because he's definitely going at the same time as you. It makes sense. So
Yeah.
let me just read. Okay. And who, by the way, who has a higher dex, Kervish or Yuno? I think Yuno's got a pretty
Probably
decent
Yuno.
dex.
Mine's +4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's probably right on.
Yeah,
So
mine's
let's do
+3.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to... We're fine? We good? And then I'm going to take a couple unarmed strikes at the not T-Rex.
Yeah. This one's got like kind of a ridge from its nostril all the way to behind its eye sockets. This large ridge with sort of these divots.
19 to hit.
19 does hit.
And that'll be 10 points of damage.
10 points.
Fine.
All right.
And then you said 19. Hits again. And then 7 points of damage, because I love rolling ones for damage.
10 and 1.
Yeah, and then for
And
my
7.
bonus action, I will take patient defense, which means that I can take the dodge action, so there's disadvantage on hitting me.
Got it. Alrighty. What does Sundancer do? For his first turn ever, by the way.
He's going to also follow me and try to bite this guy.
Right on his back.
Yep.
Sundancer can jump very well, by the way. He's got like just a free jump of like maybe 20 feet in the air.
Oh, nice. Good to know.
So he can jump, and you see every time he jumps, like his little shoulder rocket jets kind of pop real fast. Kind of cool.
Okay. And it would be +5, so that would be like 24 to hit for a bite.
Oh yeah.
And 10. And a D4. Be 8 + 5 is 13. 13 points of damage from Sundancer, and that'll be his turn.
All right. Let me. So, did this before. I'm doing it again. All right. So that would be 17 for the first attack from Maeve. Okay, that's his bite. Do you want him to make an athletics check to see if he can stay on the T-Rex's back? Because I feel like that would be cool. Or is he going to jump
sure.
off? All right. Just give me an athletics check for Sundancer. He has a +5 to his strength.
+5.
And I'd say athletics, he's proficient, so you can add his 3. Actually, he's got a proficiency of 2. Tell you what, after this week, I'll come up with a character sheet for him.
Okay. Yeah, well, when I try to bring it up, it won't let me click on anything.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
So,
If you just want to roll a general, yeah.
10 plus 5 plus 2, so 17.
17, yeah, he's holding on tight. It's not like this thing can reach around with his big giant front arms and pull him off or anything.
Yeah. Okay, and that's my turn.
All right, and you said he took 7 or 10 for that bite and fire.
It was...
It was 10 total, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. There we go. Okay. It is your turn. Kravish, you are up next.
Okay, so I am going to cast Erupting Earth.
All right.
Just want my pointer. Stop that. Sorry, roll 20 speed in it. So I'm going to cast it right underneath this guy.
All right. Let me see if I can find a cool picture. Okay. All right. Does he need to make a strength or a dex save or something like that?
Dex save.
Okay.
DC 17.
He has a +0. They're not that dexterous because they're big and clunky. It's just going to be a D20. And he's going to get a whole 16 on his dex save.
Which fails, so he's going to take full bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
Which is going to be 27.
Ooh, dang.
It's 3d12.
Wow.
Also now in difficult terrain for 20 foot cubed around it.
Gotcha. Let's see here. I don't see anything cool on the little free list of things that you can put on the board. So, well, we're gonna say you said, is he prone, or it's just difficult terrain?
He is not prone.
Okay, but yeah. And what is the radius of that difficult terrain? I'm just gonna draw it.
20 foot cubed.
Okay, 20 feet cubed, right around his big old.
Even if you tried to climb up, it's difficult terrain. Even if you climbed up.
Yeah. Yep. Which their speed is considerable. They have 50 feet of speed, so I mean that'll reduce it for sure. Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast telekinetic shove on this one.
Okay.
And try to push him.
All right. Their strength is way better than their dex. Not surprising. They are big, massive beasts. So it currently has a much smaller Sundancer on its back. So let's see what he rolls. Oh, 19. I don't think that fails. I think he's staying right where he's at.
Yeah, he passes. So now I'm going to kind of move and hide in the middle of these guys.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
It's gonna be a 13.
13? I'd say with us being the fact that you're hiding amongst some of your players as well, your fellow players, yeah, the 13's enough to where you can kind of like stick yourself between some of these creatures and without being unable to see. So, but that ends your turn. Kravish, you are next, my friend.
All right, so for my action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Bless. I'm going to cast it at 3rd level, so I should be able to get all the party members with that, because that'll be five humanoids, well, 5 willing participants, which
5 willing for Bless. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be Maven, Koza,
Got it.
and then myself.
Okay. I gotta go AFK real quick for like 10 seconds. So if you want to go ahead and make your attack or whatever, and then do your rolls, that's fine. I'll come
My
back.
action is casting Bless.
Okay. All right. Is that gonna end your turn?
Hold on just a minute. I'll let you go ahead and walk through.
Okay. And I'll be right back for like 10 seconds.
Okay. So everybody to make, you get to add a D4 to any attack roll or saving throw. If the dog's gotta go.
Okay. I'm back. What'd I miss? Sorry.
No, I didn't miss anything. And then, let me see, for my bonus action, I'm going to kind of stay where I am right now.
Right.
And then for my bonus action, I am going to give Axton a die of bardic inspiration.
All right.
It's like you finally get the chance to hit something bigger than you.
Yeah. He's gonna pull his, he usually has his bleeder, but you know what? He's gonna pull out his lion's head axe. Seems a little apropos here. And yeah, let's give him inspiration. I gotta do that, however. Inspiration. Would say he's got a trophy. I don't know why. Okay. He is inspired. That's a D8, right?
That is correct. You could have had a D8.
Cool. Okay, so I need to do a little bit of math here. This is going to be from where he's at to 5 feet, so we'll call it. And then to move out, he'll still be in his space, so that's going to be 10 feet is 20. So he's going to stop there. And he's going to be able to move 5 more feet because they have 50 feet of movement. So he's used 25, right? Is that right? 5, 10 is 20, and then 25. Yeah, he's used 25 movement to get there. This guy is going to actually move around here. So let's do a little measuring. From there to here is only 25 feet, but he's huge. So I guess we'll say right there. And no, we'll move him right there. He doesn't want to be quite so close to Maven. He saw her kick the crap out of the other buddy. So the other large one is going to, what the heck for fun, spin around and back up a wave. He's going to try to toss Sundancer off of his back. So I need Sundancer to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. He's got a +5 to that as well, like I said.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. So he's going to hold on to his back. So let's put him right here. But he's going to turn around, and he is going to take the first bite at you, Maven. He's going to lean down, and you see his big jaws go to clasp around you with these huge razor-sharp teeth, like 4 or 5 inches tall. So,
disadvantage.
With disadvantage. All right, so I'm going to do... This one is his first attempt. And this is his second attempt. Let's see which one he lands for real. Dirty 20, does that hit?
It does.
All right. So, that's not good.
No, it's bad.
It's going to be a full, as it clamps around your waist, 21
Oof.
points of piercing damage. I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
So great at those. Actually, it's not awful, but that was a terrible roll. 10.
Yeah. 10, yeah. It successfully grasps you in its mouth and begins lifting you off the ground. Sundancer is not super happy about that.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right. It cannot attack anybody around it with its tail, so it's not going to. Actually, you know what? Yes, it is. It's going to take all of you with it, and it's going to move a total of 10 feet. And then it's going to try to swat one of these Aliops younglings. I don't want to say infant, because they don't look infant. They look like just young, childlike dinosaurs. And it's going to try to swipe its tail at it and knock it down. Let's see how it does. Not great. Unfortunately, the little guy's got a very low AC. Okay, so... Oh, boy. I had to nerf these a little. Don't worry if anyone's looking up what T-Rex does in D&D. I nerfed them a little, but not by much. Let's see what they get. Okay. So it knocks this little green baby Aliops on its side, and the thing is knocked unconscious. The smaller one, though, is going to take a bite out of Mr. Kravish. So, Mr. Kravish does a 29 hit you.
Surprisingly,
right.
no. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay. It's going to bite you for 6 points of piercing damage. I need you to also make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay. Hold on just 1 6. Strength saving throw.
Yep.
Natural 20 for a total of 22.
Ooh, good. That's enough. That will save your butt. So it goes to bite at you, and you sort of spin around, and it kind of glances across. It definitely scrapes like your shoulder and part of your ribs, but it looks like its teeth kind of sort of scrape around, especially since it's a little smaller than its buddies. Scrapes over your armor. Your armor does take significant like scratching damage to it. Doesn't look like you're gonna walk away here unscathed, unfortunately. When do you ever?
No, ever, hardly ever. And I made my con saving throw to keep concentration on bless.
All right, good. He's gonna then spin around and try to just bash you right across the head with his tail as he's sort of thrashing around and biting at you. So let's do that.
But don't forget, everybody gets to add a D4 to your saving throws and attack rolls.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. Did you add that to your saving throw, Maven?
I did not, but would an 11 have made a difference?
No.
Would have up to a 14 made a difference. Like,
no, that would have been close. That would have been very close, but no.
No, sir, but no.
Okay. Well, just want to make sure you're getting everything. Okay. So, there we go. So, Kravish, you get hit right in the face over 1 point of damage. No, 4 points of damage. Where'd the other one go? Oh, there it is. It's in the corner. 4 points of bludgeoning damage right to your grill. And then for good measure, it's just going to spin back around and just roar right in your face so you can feel like hot wind in your face with little flecks of spittle as there's this horrid, rotten frickin' odor that just sort of plasters you with phlegm and breath.
Okay. I'll roar back.
Cool. You roar back?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an intimidation check, because it's funny.
I'm way too excited about this.
Let's see.
Aren't we all?
22 for intimidation.
22? Oh boy. It does not have a whole lot. It's got a -4 intelligence. It has a -1 charisma. It has only a +1 wisdom. I'd say that you beat him.
Yay!
He just... Yeah, you kind of roar back and with this. I imagine not exactly a growl, more of a tenor holding a note, like. And it just sort of rears back, doesn't know what to do. Just kind of looks around a couple of times. Let's see here.
Recognize.
This guy has not attacked yet, but he's not interested in you guys. He's actually looking to attack this gnomish fella here on the map. So let's see if he hits him. It doesn't look like any of these guys are wearing like really heavy armor at all. They've got like leather vests and maybe like a interesting like chainmail, but it doesn't look like they're wearing plate or anything. So this could be very bad. This is, by the way, by far the biggest one of the three. Oh yeah, definitely. He's gonna mess this guy up. Oh, 18. And I'm gonna have that guy make a save. A strength save. Oh, natural 20. He lifts this guy up off of his horse and looks like he's trying to eat him, not just carry him away. Just so you guys know. That's going to end their turns, though. It is Koza's go.
All right. I am going to weave a little magic in my hands and touch it to my chest, and you see my body start to convulse and crack, and my skin flakes over in a vague green reptilian scale. And I start to grow vastly in size. I grow great sharp teeth and a great long tail. And I'm going to polymorph into a T-Rex.
Yay! Hold on a minute. Okay, they're huge. I'm so happy right now. They're huge, and I'm going to make you a little token. So you got to give me 1 second. So, do you have the T-Rex up on your computer?
I got all its stats up. I'm good.
All right, I'm going to make Koza real big just for a second. You go ahead and craft your attack, and I'll make you a little mini.
All right, I'm going to attack the one immediately next to Kravish first.
Okay.
Just because he's right there.
Okay.
So that's
funny, Steph. That's funny.
That's a plus 10 to hit.
Plus 10, okay.
All right, so it's a 21 to hit, which
definitely hits.
So that's 4d12 plus 7 piercing damage.
Cool.
All right, 4d12.
I should have figured you would do this. I should have had this ready.
That's 18 points of piercing damage, and that's just one attack. I get a bite and a tail attack.
Let me ask you, which one of these three do you want me to mimic? Which one of these three do you want to be? They have different poses.
We'll be this guy.
Okay, I thought so. Somehow I knew. And I'm just gonna tint him green, and that's Koza.
If only I could make this in Hero Forge.
I know. Cool.
All right, and then I'm gonna make a tail attack.
Okay.
So that's another 10 to hit, plus 10 to hit.
Yep. Keep track of your total damage, okay? Because I'm doing this right now. All right.
Okay, I missed that one. I just missed though. So that's 18 damage total.
18 damage total. That's a lot. All right. 17. Okay, that's good. Okay. Almost there, I promise. That is your turn, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Remove. Just 10 more seconds, guys, I swear.
Hey, Koza, did you add that D4 to your attacks?
Oh, I didn't. Let me do that. Cool. So that's 22.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They all hit. Okay. Axton is next. He is going to... I guess he can stay right where he's at. Koza, I'm going to delete you and bring you back. No, what the heck? Why did it do that? Did you guys see that?
I am the dungeon master now.
Oh, because it doesn't... For some reason, it didn't load. It was like a default icon. It didn't load the menu. For a second, he's like, it's incognito, Koza.
We could use that for when we go invisible.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just delete your on-screen mini and it gives you a default. Okay, I think we're good. Make you huge. He's just a little guy now. Now he's growing. Bam. Okay. All right, there's Koza.
All right.
Axton's going to
I'm a
definitely come
dinosaur,
to.
motherfuckers.
he's going to come to the aid of these creatures. He's going to try to distract the what do you call the big dinosaur from eating the gnome. So Axton has his lion's head axe out right now. He gets 2 attacks. Okay. Bam. There's 1. He's going to try to hit it again. The 28 hits, so that's 17 points of damage. And he's going to try to hit it again. He's going to hit it again. So 17 and 15, pretty decent. He's going to really lay into this thing. And it already has not been attacked yet, so I'm going to give it some damage. Okay. Okay. All right. I think that ends his turn. He's going to use his tunnel fighting bonus action to go into like a patient defense kind of a stance. That's going to end Axton's turn. It is top of the round with Maven.
Okie dokie, artichoke. And I looked up grappled, and it doesn't say I have to hit anything with disadvantage. So that is nice. Can
Cool.
I try to, like, gouge out the guy's eyes? Or is that too far away?
I'll let you do a acrobatics check to see if you can clamber up there next to Sundancer, who just got his
Okay.
back in his mouth.
Gotcha. Love that. So excited.
And he's like tugging on it and trying to like rip skin like a puppy would with something that he's got on the ground. He's like kind of wagging his head.
I'm so excited. I just rolled a natural 20 for a 29.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
With a
Yeah.
flourish. I would like to do some kind of dope monk shit. I want to do like a cartwheel or something.
Dope monk shit.
Cartwheel is definitely dope monk shit. Yeah, you with ease kind of like zip up its leg and with this kind of wide fan flipping motion, just sort of like ladder walk your way up this thing's body. It is huge, so it's pretty tall, and by the time you get up to its head, actually, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, it had you in its mouth. Actually, now that I'm thinking
that's why
about
I was,
it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to.
You break free of that. You kind of like stick your feet in its mouth and jam its jaws open and flip around and cartwheel to the top. And now you're kind of riding it on its back, and your hands are definitely within its eyes as far as range.
Oh, I would like to try to gouge its eyes out.
Cool. Just gonna take 2
What?
unarmed strikes.
Okay.
That's all that is.
15?
Thumb in eyes. A 15 does hit.
Oh, okay, cool.
I added 2 to its AC because you're going for a specific body part, but you still hit it.
And my D4. So, and 19 for the second one.
19 as well. So you have your thumbs right in its eyes. It looks like the one on the right. It like felt you grabbing at it, so it kind of closed its eyelid, but you're like pushing through its eyelid into its eyes, which are huge. They're about the size of grapefruits, these eyes. But the other one, you straight up stick your thumb in it.
Love that. And then 11 for the first hit and 10 for the second.
All right. Yep, it's not
And-
blind, but it's not happy.
Okay, and then I will once again do patient defense,
Okay.
and that should be my turn for me.
All right.
And then Sundancer, is he's like holding on with his mouth, right? He's like
Yeah.
like holding on to his.
Well,
breath.
he's got his
Okay,
claws
so-
in his back, and his head is
Okay.
is like turned sideways. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a bearded lizard or a gecko trying to like rip grab something and tear it, but it kind of like shakes its head left to right. And that's what he's doing with his mouth.
Okay, he's gonna do a bite attack. I was trying to figure out like what would be available to him to try to
Oh yeah.
eat the thing.
Well,
So,
I mean, he
a
could.
bite
He's
attack.
up on top of his back with his back legs. He could let go with his mouth and slash at him with his claws if he wanted to, but it's up to you.
Okay, we'll just do as a bite attack for now.
All right.
So that'll be 17 to hit,
That does hit.
and then. Oop, oop. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So 16 points of damage.
Holy
Rolled a
cow.
10 on the damage die.
Holy crap. Good job, Sundance. How much was that?
16.
Holy crow. All right.
Yeah.
This thing's definitely
And then-
looking tore up. Yep.
And that'll be his turn.
So Sundancer kind of like lets go briefly and looks at you and like notices that you're there, and you kind of spin around. You guys meet eyes, and he dives back into the back of this T-Rex, who is like, by the way, side to side, just like flailing its little arms, like trying to get at you and twisting its body left, right, and roaring. Sundancer latches back down in this wound that he's made and tears a huge chunk of flesh away. And you see his entire, like half of Sundancer's face just gets sprayed with this blood, this dark red blood that sort of filters between his scales on his face. And he just chews and swallows this little chunk of meat that he just pulled off of this T-Rex and just looks at you, and his tongue just like wagging on the side of his mouth.
Boy. Gonna have to bathe you later, but for now.
Oh, you got blood on you too. I think everybody's sort of getting a little.
Everyone's a little bit covered
is,
in blood.
Yuno is up with Kravish on deck.
I'm gonna cast Chain Lightning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast it on this one for all intents and
Okay.
purposes. It's gonna hit all three.
Okay.
They have to make a Dex save, DC 17.
DC
They
17,
have
I
to-
can guarantee you this is not going to do anything. All right, so let's go clockwise from the little one near Kravish. That guy is getting a natural 20. The guy on the bottom is getting a natural 4. He fails. And the guy up top gets an 18. So wow, two of them surprisingly pass.
So the two that pass will take half.
Okay.
The one that failed will take full.
Okay.
It's going to be 56 points of lightning damage.
56, so that would be 27 or 26. No, 56. Yeah, 56 divided by 2.
28.
Nope.
28.
Okay. What the heck? 56 divided by 2. 28. Yeah,
28.
thank you. Okay. Is full. 14 is half.
No.
Or no, 56 is full. Yeah, 56 is full. 28 is half. Gotcha. Oh man, devastating damage. All three of them like convulse and like go to their knees real quick and start shaking. I'm gonna say if one of them is carrying two of your party members, does it say anything about being able to choose targets or anything like that? Because they're on this thing and it just got the full damage.
Yeah, target is just a target or creature, and it can only be targeted by one of the bolts.
Okay. Got it. It went right through this body, this T-Rex's body. Oh, that was crazy.
And I'll end my turn.
I gave this too much damage. I did that last time. You guys got mad at me, but I'm not too worried about it. All of them are looking real rough. Real rough. Especially the one that's got a white lizard and a monk on its back. Real rough. Except for this guy. This guy doesn't look terrible. Well, now he does. If I'm being honest. He wasn't looking bad. And then he took a crap ton of damage. Okay. You know, that was your turn. Go ahead and give me another stealth check, because now they saw you. I'm guessing they could definitely see you from where they're at.
It's gonna be an 18.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're just kind of keeping yourself keeping yourself moving and low. As much movement as you can make while there's like these creatures moving around you, including this giant green T-Rex right next to you, which I feel like I completely skipped you, Noah, so I'm going to let you go now, because I forgot to add this in again. And you had a 9. Where does that leave you? You would have been after the T-Rexes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're up after Kravish and after the T-Rexes. Okay. I didn't forget.
Okay.
You. Kravish, you're next.
All right. So the one that's got the gnome in his mouth is
This guy.
he's still up.
Yeah, he's up and he is vigorous, and it looks like he's beginning to really crunch down on this guy and maybe causing some worrying damage.
All right. Well, I don't have anything in the way of any range. Well, wait a minute. Actually, I do. I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers
Okie dokie.
at second level on that T-Rex.
All right.
He has to make a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Okay. That's a 17. I'm rolling high today.
Okay. He'll take half damage.
Okay. Still counts.
Yeah. So he'll take 7 points of psychic damage.
Alrighty.
then
And
for-
let's see. I don't think you guys can see. Let's do that. I like to give you guys a bit of a visual on how much life they have. All right. Continue.
And then for my bonus action, I am going to give a bardic inspiration to my sweet Babu up there picking the shit out of the other T-Rex.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, babe.
You got inspiration.
Got it.
Is it a D8?
It is.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I was right.
What does Kravish say to a wild T-Rex to creep it out?
The creep
Yeah, your dissonant whispers.
questioning that, no one fears you. You are weak.
Kind of looks at you like, oh,
You
that's
can't even
freaking
scratch your
hurtful,
own
man.
back.
Not cool, man.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Making
Your
fun of
back
some-
itches.
Making fun of something I can't control, man. All right. If that endeth your turn,
It does.
these
I'm going
guys
to
are.
be AFK for just a few moments because I just finally got home, so
All
I'm
right.
going to get set up. I should hopefully be back on full when the next round comes up.
Okie dokie. I am going to immediately attack Kravish. Because I'm evil.
I can still hear you, though.
I'm going to immediately attack you, Kravish. This T-Rex here, not super happy that you're whispering foul nothings to its friends. It's going to attack you with a bite and a tail. The first one is a bite to your abdomen. It's going to lean down and get a natural 20. Whoa. Holy cow. Do you know what your hit points are? Have you been hit yet? You have. Oh boy, oh boy.
I have,
It's a
but I'm
new-
going to use silvery barbs.
Yeah, okay. I'll do it again. Silvery Barbs is not so great, but still a good hit. 25, all right. Even damage, no
At least it's not a
problem.
crit.
Yeah. He's still going to bite you hard, though. It's going to hurt. It's gonna hurt. Okay, that's 12 points of piercing damage. And I am going to, since you probably can't do it, I'm going to need a strength saving throw as he tries to lift you into the air. I'll go ahead and roll that for you. See what he gets. Core and strength saving throw. Strength. An 11's not enough, so guess what? Kravish is
I
being
was just
held
about to roll it.
I beat you to it.
I was-
I don't know why it's at advantage. You do get to roll. Wait a minute. You do get to roll your bless, right? Aren't you blessed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you would like to roll your bless, go ahead.
I got a total of a 19 for my saving throw.
Okay. Okay, fine. I'll give it to you, even though I beat you to it. 19 is enough. So he's gonna kind of keep his maw around your waist, and you feel his teeth crunch into your armor and pierce it, and you can feel like in your hips around your back as this thing's mouth is about 3 feet wide and just kind of munches on you. Okay. And as he does that, he is going to turn around and try and whip his tail at Koza, the big green T-Rex, and he's going to hit him for a 23 with his tail. Does a 23 hit your T-Rex?
23 does hit my T-Rex.
Yeah, because you take their AC and their hit points, which is nice. The T-Rex has a lot.
Yes.
Okay. So with his tail attack, he hits you for 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Slaps you right on your rib cage. Let's see. All right, this one is definitely going to... All right. The one down here, Maven and Sundancer, is going to actually do like a move where it's going to do whatever it can to get you off its back. So it's actually going to flip and land on its back. I need you to make a dex saving throw for you and Sundancer.
Dexterity saving throw for me.
Yeah, kind of like if you stayed where you are, you're getting squished. All right.
Yes, you're still blessed.
Dirty 20 for me, and then is it +5 for Sundancer?
Yeah, he's got a very high dex.
11. 11.
Okay.
For Sundancer.
So I'm going to do two dice for fall damage on Sundancer. He's going to fail his dex save. He's going to take 8 points, which is not his max HP. Don't worry. He's got much more than that.
Okie dokie.
Looks like we lost Corey just for a moment. That's all right, because he's not up yet. All right. You flipped away. You're good.
Okay. And I'm on the ground now.
Yeah, and I would say you're at least prone. You may not be within the crush radius, but you're definitely on your back. This guy here is going to turn around and attack Axton for his bite and for his tail attack. And let's see here. That's a 17 to hit Axton. I don't think that hits him on his bite, but we'll see if it hits him. Nope. 19. I think 19 also misses. He's got an AC of 20. That's going to leave Koza up next. Let me just double check that. Koza, Mr. T-Rex, what are you doing?
I'm going to bite the dude next to me.
All right.
So that's another... I'm going to bite him right on his neck.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to roll a little damage because he did actually whip Axton with his tail.
It's a 24 to hit.
All right. 24 definitely
and that's
hits.
That's another 4d12 plus 7. Wait, hang on. Okay. So that's 26 plus 7. 34 points of damage.
And you're, just to be clear, you're going after this guy, right?
Or no, 33, sorry. Yes.
Okay. 43?
33.
33, holy cow. A monster attack.
Bitch.
Was that both attacks?
That was just a bite attack.
All right. It's not looking great.
I still get a tail attack.
Okay.
This one's not as devastating, though.
No. Ooh.
That's a 17 to hit.
That does hit.
All right, so that's 3d8 plus 7.
Ooh. All right.
So that's 20 points of damage.
Okay. Ooh, it's still up, but it is bleeding from multiple wounds, it looks like. It's gonna try to get away. It's gonna avoid this area because of its difficult terrain. So that's 1, 2, definitely 2.
She's leaving my melee range, so I get an attack of opportunity.
Yep, so does Kravish. Kravish gets 1 too, but he's gonna try to get away.
That's another 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
All right, that's another 4d12 worth of damage.
Woohoo! The young T-Rex, not so smart to run away.
No.
Although it seems smart. It always seems smart to run away.
Okay, that's an additional 30 points of damage.
Okay, let's just do this.
As he tries to turn around to get away, I'm just gonna bite him on the neck,
Yeah,
and then like Jurassic Park 3 style, I'm just gonna twist his neck.
Yeah. Okay, that means he's definitely like prone and stuff.
It is like super
Like, by the time I get a chance to fully draw my sword, he has just like clamped his neck and broken it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fine, take all the fun out of it.
No, but I like the idea of Kravish like walking up to it and stabbing it anyway, just in the rib.
Just
The principle of the thing.
Yeah. Kind of like, if anybody ever seen the movie Dragon Slayer, where he kills the dragon at the very end, the king walks over and just like plants his little sword in the bone that's left over, and they're like, "Hail the king! He's killed the dragon." Yeah. Cool. No, he did not get away successfully. And that's going to leave it to be... I'm guessing you don't want to move, or maybe you do want to move. You're not near any enemies right now.
I do want to move.
Yeah.
I do want to move over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to see you...
So that I can get that guy. Actually, I'm going to move right there.
Well, you're in his space doing that. He is 3x3.
Well, then I will go right here.
Okay, yeah. And he sees you encroaching on his space. He's going to flip around, and he's going to attack Axton with his tail, but he's going for a big old bite. So let's do the attack against Axton first. That's definitely going to be enough to hit him. And Axton's going to take 21 points of damage. And against you, he's going to bite at you pretty much in the same way. He's going to kind of like dip his head low and like get under your head and try and grab your neck. Yeah.
21 hits.
Yeah. I didn't roll that. I rolled a 25.
Oh, okay. That definitely hits.
Yeah, I figured. These are
The thing
actually
about T-Rexes, they do a lot of damage and they almost always hit, but they got real low ACs.
Well, this thing has incredibly nerfed damage. So you only take 18 points of, I guess, piercing damage. Yep.
All right.
Okay. That's going to end its turn. Axton is going to... Actually, you know what? Hold on. It wasn't its turn. What am I thinking? It wasn't its turn at all. It didn't do any of that to you. You can give yourself those 18 points back. It definitely looks like it definitely looks like it's going to try to go for your neck on its next turn, though. Because right now it's Axton's turn. Axton's like, hey, I can hear Barry in my head, like, hey, it's my turn. So he's going to take 2 strikes with his lion's head axe, and what the heck, he sees that these things are starting to fall, so he's going to use his action surge. So we're talking 4 attacks with his lion's head battle axe. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow, what'd I get? I got a hit, natural 20, and another hit. All 4 of these hit. Okay, let's see. Is it possible this thing survives? Is it possible? Let's look. First one's a hit, and it does 13. Okay, and the second one is a natural 20, so it's 16. I'm going to use that first one twice. What the heck? 16 and 17. It's close enough. Okay. Its second attack is worth 6, or third attack is worth 16, and its last attack is worth 17. Guess what, guys? It's dead. Axton has killed this creature. Like, just chops its head right off. Like he jumps in the air and comes down hard on this thing as it's bending down to get at Koza's throat, and just starts chopping and lopping this thing until he finally carves right through it, and its head just topples to the ground, followed by its body. That's going to end his turn. He is covered in blood right now. And he just kind of looks at you all like, sick of these things. Let's end it. Maven, go. And it is your turn.
Rock.
Okie dokie, you're joking. You said that I was prone, so I would like to stand up, please.
All right, that's half of your massive movement.
I have normal speed now. I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm still gonna try to beat this guy up a little bit.
All right, he is prone. He is prone, but he's huge, so you don't get advantage on an attack against him. Unfortunately, he's just too big.
Okay, 23 to hit.
That does hit.
7 points of damage because I'm once again great at rolling once for my damage. And then 14. Rolled real low.
Don't reach bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah, and bless.
And bless, which stack.
They do.
So
it
18
all
to
counts.
hit.
18 does hit. What did you say your first one was? 7? 7
was
damage on the first one?
7 damage, yeah.
Okay. Just keeping track.
And then 14. So that'll be 21 total damage.
All right. How do you want to do this, Maven?
Yeah.
Kill the dinosaurs.
I don't know. I'm not by its face anymore. I was gonna rip out one of its eyeballs, but I'll just do like I don't know, a good like people's elbow. If you guys are old enough to remember that.
Of course we are. Who doesn't know the people's elbow? Yeah, you kind of slap your elbow real hard and jump in the air and put all your weight down, and your elbow just comes down like a lightning crack right onto its skull, and you can hear it. And the creature lets out a menial squeak and then just settles. It is dead. All right. Let's do this. Nope. Let's do this. So, you all stand as the dust and the grit settles to the ground. A lot of labored breathing, a lot of looking around and checking to make sure. Kravish, your armor is pretty badly damaged, as well as your clothes. Your sleeves. I think your sleeve took a major hit during the last battle, and so your clothes are just ripped to shreds. Like you're missing an entire right sleeve. Your armor has all these punched holes in it, and I
am getting really freaking tired of having to buy a new pair of new outfit every damn week.
Yeah.
So is the life of, or sorry.
Maven doesn't mind. She's totally fine with the view.
Yeah, his glistening silver scales do poke through the holes in his clothes. But, yeah, you're all kind of like... There's a huddle in the middle as these younger creatures are being tended to by the small ranchers who realize that the battle is ended. They kind of look around. They poke their heads up over their horse because they look like they kind of got down and hid where Yuno was protecting himself. But the scene seems to relax a little. You hear the clop of hoofprints as the large, he is a large fella, the half-orc wrangler who, or rancher that had accompanied the herd. You see him kind of clop over, and you see him kind of like come to a quick stop. He's like, "We heard the commotion. What happened?" Oh man! And he looks and he sees 3 dead T-Rexes and 1 very alive one, and you see him pull his gun and point it right at Koza. And does anybody do anything in reaction?
I unpolymorph. I unpolymorph.
You drop your spell, and just as you do, we'll say that he fires his gun where your head would have been, and as you're shrinking down, you can feel the bullet just graze your hair as you come to your regular height. And it's just like you feel this like puff of movement above your head, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sure sorry about that. Well, looked like the herd got beset by some mighty T-Rexes on the prowl." And he says, "Is everybody else all right?" And it looks like he's kind of scanning the immediate horizon, and the little halflings and gnomes are like, "Yeah, we're good. We're just tending to this young one here, hurt his leg. These fine folks were kind enough to assist and give some healing, and that's when the T-Rexes descended upon us."
Yeah, now the rest of us need healing.
Yeah. You see the half-orc just kind of look at you all over and kind of give like a little bit of a stronger kind of scan, and he just looks at Kravish, who's bleeding and shredded, and he's like, y'all need to get yourselves some new damn clothes.
That is some brilliant piercing insight.
Pearson, I like that. Well, I do surely thank y'all for your assistance, and he's going to toss Kravish a coin purse. And he goes, that there's for protecting the herd and giving some aid to our injured youngins. All right, well, let's move it on out, folks. These doggies ain't going to shake themselves. And
where do I go for a new set of clothes?
Into the Western Outfitter, of course.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Western, that all too familiar style to fantasy settings.
Mm-hmm. Only we're in the east.
Yep, the halflings and gnomes kind of hustle along on top of their little ponies. These young Eliops, and they all join the herd. It looks like it's moving east towards the other shore of the peninsula. And you're just kind of left here with the corpses of these creatures. He tossed you 120 gold pieces.
Oh, good. All right.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of your journey north, unless there's anything, does anybody want to harvest anything from these creatures? I think Barry would definitely have my head if I did break off a couple of teeth that he could keep.
Fair.
Make dagger for Barynor.
I'll say that if anybody can or is proficient in medicine, you can give me a check and see if you can find the longest tooth. And these things are really sharp, by the way. They're very good at causing damage to meaty flesh bags like you.
There's a 15.
Sir Kravish, 15. I'll say that you find the longest tooth to be about 5 inches, which is good for like a small dagger. And you literally just kind of rip it out by the root, and you're like, he'll attach it however he wants to later. So you have a 5-inch T-Rex tooth in your inventory. Okay. All right. And what the heck? Axton's gonna harvest some T-Rex meat. Why not? There's a lot of it. What do you guys think would be the most tender cut of T-Rex? Probably like near the half back area.
Probably.
Isn't that where like a tenderloin is? It's along the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody here hunt?
No.
No. Me neither. What do we know?
I mean, you could just look up like cow cuts, like
yeah, flank steak,
beef butchering.
Yeah,
it would probably give you something.
He's definitely collecting some tenderloin meat of T-Rex. But I want to see how much he finds. He's proficient in like everything. Need to have a talk with Barry. 23 on his medicine check. Yeah, so what the heck? He's gonna find quite a bit. Wow, 14 rations of T-Rex steak.
Yum.
He's gonna, while he's at it, he's gonna take a T-Rex rib. Why not? It's like 3 feet long.
Do something with that.
I'll turn it into a sword.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'll turn it into a sword or a javelin. I'll turn it into an axe. All right. The landscape before you begins to even out as you can see the edges of the lake at this point on either side. Still about maybe a mile away on either side, but it looks like you're reaching kind of a bottleneck. And that's when you see the town of Cobb. It's pretty densely populated. It looks like it kind of sits on the shore at the extreme end of this peninsula, which is still, if my math is right, still kind of wide at this point. Let me see here. Oh, come on. Do cooperate. There we go. Yeah. It's about the peninsula is like 10 miles wide at its widest around here, but there is kind of like a little bit of room on either side of the town where it kind of doesn't extend all the way to the edges on the left and the right. So anyway, they're houses. Most of them are ranch style, where they've got kind of peaked roofs, wooden slat tiles for roofing material, and a lot of these structures kind of don't really have a rhyme or reason to them as far as their arrangement. And they just kind of form little coves and streets that look like, as you're descending into an even field, not really having a true top-down view, you see at the center of this city, there's this bit of a hill, and on top, this great white wooden high-peaked temple-like building, and it has a symbol atop it that none of you recognize. Let me show you first what Cobb looks like, and then I'll show you the symbol. You see little boats in the lake. Looks like they're small enough to be rowboats, perhaps. Some of them are a little bit bigger. Yep, that's what Cobb looks like. And the symbol that you see atop that church it's kind of like a it looks like a cage almost, with something inside of it that you're not exactly sure what it is. You're a little far away at this point, but you do see more foot traffic coming to and from there. You did pass a number of look like houses on the outskirts of Cobb, and it looks like people are kind of moving from there, moving around town, and you see a lot of them on horseback, and just about everybody has a hat on. And I'm going to say that definitely a lot of you get strange looks from the people that pass you by.
Oh, actually, when I changed my shirt, I went ahead and got my old hat and put it back on.
I'm sorry, you got your old what?
My old hat.
Your old
when
hat.
I was changing shirts, my old hat.
Yeah.
Put it back on my head.
Is it the brown one or the black one?
Because
I think you bought a black one with a feather in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take that one.
Right. Okay. Well, they still looking at you weird. Little headgear doesn't change what you're wearing. Yeah, but the town's quite dense at the center, and the perimeters of the outer edges of the town looks like it's at least a mile or two across this town. It's not like a 2-street old western town that we've had. It's pretty big. Looks like, let me have a perception check from, I don't know, everybody as you're kind of looking around.
You want an active perception roll? My passive is 16.
Yeah, let's have an active. I mean, you're looking around. You're paying attention.
Okay, 22.
22. Nice.
Same as Maven.
Nice.
Fancies.
Maven. Yep. Okay. So, you notice that the as you start to enter the what do you call it? The edges of the map, or edges of the map. I'm like doing 5 things here and trying to do this. Now Kenku's shitting the bed on me. There we go. Okay. Oh dear, that's so loud. I'm sorry, folks. Okay.
You're fine.
As you enter Cobb proper, you see that the outer edges of the town are dominated mostly by like stables where there are an assortment of livestock. You do kind of see some of the Eliops that maybe not from the same herd, but definitely the same species are looks like they're being paddocked behind this tall 15-foot wooden fence. And as you kind of move between two of these large paddock fenced areas and head for the center of town, you notice that the population is mostly humanoids as far as like humans, elves. There's a lot of dwarves. There's a lot of halflings and a lot of gnomes. I'd say it's pretty much even between those four. You do see, a couple half-orcs moving crates and stuff. It looks like one is very distinguishedly dressed in a large top hat. In another universe, you would think he looked like the Baron from our Christmas one-shot. And an assortment of wagons and mounts carrying goods on saddlebags moving throughout the town. There is considerable less snow here. Looks like the ground is pretty heavily traveled, which keeps the falling snow at bay. Not really chilly here anymore. It seems pretty comfortable, even for Kervish, who is lacking a lot of his clothing. And you find yourselves kind of teetering over to the right, where there's some hitching posts, and looks like there's kind of a small humanoid halfling, almost a little taller than a halfling, maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, just kind of looks up at you with this kind of a bowler hat. And he's like, "Well, y'all don't seem like you're from round here."
You are quite perceptive, my friend.
"Well, thank you, mister. Say, can I interest you in a paper?" And he pulls this big stack of parchment from under his arm, and he holds it up, and it says Camello Twins wanted in cattle rustling endeavor. And there's some scribbled writing underneath. It looks like there's a couple of articles. And he's like, "Only 5 copper."
Yeah, I'll toss him a silver and say keep it.
"Thanks, mister." And he says, "If you need to know any news around town, you can come find me. Name's Gibney."
Gibney?
Yep.
Well met, Gibney. Where's the nearest outfitter around here?
And he kind of looks you once and over. He's like, "Why, you need some clothes?" And he slaps his knee.
Yes.
Well, if you head down the main thoroughfare there, and you take a right at the large red bell, you might find what you're looking for over there at the leather fitters.
Much obliged.
And I'm going to say that you definitely feel not at home here, but definitely at home with these folks. You recognize their accent a little bit, kind of mimics yours in a small way. You definitely have more of a flowery travel kind of the dialect to the way you speak. But these people are kind of, they feel right. And you guys kind of hop off your horse, and you see Axton kind of throw his rein over a hitching post, and he's like, "I don't know about you guys, but I could use a bite to eat. Maybe a mug of ale? What do you guys think?"
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that.
So yeah,
I wanna go get
So Axton's gonna kind of look around. He looks like he's gonna take the buckle off of his shoulder pauldron, kind of move his shoulder around as you all take in the scenery of all of this place and sort of decide what you want to do, where you want to go. Kervish, you've got to kind of have a heading to find yourself some clothes. It looks like there might be some kind of a tavern or a pub nearby. You hear the clinking of glasses, the laughing inside. And we're going to go ahead and take a little break right there.
Okie doke.
Alrighty. Welcome to Cobb, everybody.
The Wild
Yeah.
West.
Near. So, we'll meet back here. We'll call it 4 o'clock. We'll be here at 4:15. Find out what kind of shenanigans y'all can get into in here.
Okie doke, artichoke.
Go.
All right, see you in a little bit. All right, people. Are we all back yet?
Yes.
I are back.
I'm back.
Is that Bogey?
No, it's the metagaming bitch.
What's up, man? You made it?
I did indeed.
How is it that you timed it perfectly to show up right when our break was over? That was very convenient.
I showed up at the beginning of the break.
Oh. Welcome.
So you just been sitting here for 15 minutes.
I mean, I came home.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. It only makes sense for you to at least sit out until morning.
All right. Copy that.
It'd be really weird if you were like, I'll be right back for a couple hours, and then I'll come back. Should have just traveled with him. You missed a good fight, I'll tell you that.
That's what I hear. Dinosaurs and cowboys.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get back into it. Looks like Yuno is muted, but that's all right. Everybody else looks like they're online. That's good. Okay.
I'm here.
Cool. All right, I gotcha. Okay. Well, the town of Cobb surrounds you all. The denizens kind of skittering to and fro across the main thoroughfare. It looks like most of the street-lined buildings face the thoroughfare itself. There's a crisscross of foot traffic and horseback and wagons and carts and people shouting things at each other. There's a couple of drunkards having a fisticuffs fight just off the beaten path. And you all have sort of you have your headings right now. I don't know if you guys want to split the party or move as one. Kravish, you kind of know where you want to go.
Split the party.
You hush, you're not here.
Metagaming pigeon.
So, I will just a little bit of a reminder. The gentleman that you spoke to outside of town last session told you about a place to grab a brew called the Tattered Dock.
Yeah.
There is a tavern just across the street from you, with just a big horseshoe swinging from a bracket above its door. What would you guys like to do?
A horseshoe, like, is this a pub? Is this a smithy? What? Farrier?
Well, you see people kind of walking in and out with some regularity. It's got those swinging half doors like a saloon. It doesn't seem, you don't hear the sound of steel being hit with a hammer within.
Okay, well, we'll head on in.
All right. It is a tavern. It's kind of a large tavern. It looks like it services a great number of the Cobb citizens. There's tables spread out throughout the whole joint. There is a stage, or a half stage in the back with kind of like candles lining the stage edge. There's a large bar with a bar back. There's what looks like a human with these long mutton chops with a big curly mustache and kind of a bald head. And he's currently cleaning a glass and listening to what looks like someone with a big floppy hat just kind of jawing in his ear while downing a tankard of ale. Not really paying him too much mind. As he sees you all approach, everybody, like a record scratch, everything goes quiet. And they all turn to look at you all enter this, like, taking up the sunlight from outside. They all just kind of look at you all and just nobody says nothing. For a while, it's a pregnant pause.
Yes, we're not from around here.
You hear a couple of sniggering in the back. Like,
Can I make a check to try and spit into the tobacco like pot thing that is always in saloons?
Tune.
A spittoon?
Yeah.
Tune.
Oh yeah, you can definitely do. Let's see here to make it fair. Let's say a performance check or an acrobatics check. That feels dexterous. Okay, all right.
All right. This is gonna be funny either way.
Let's see it.
All right.
Yay! All right. 18. It's a decent roll. Yeah, you kind of hawk back. You don't have any tobacco in your mouth, so you kind of hawk back and like gather a big, sweaty, slimy loogie at the back of your throat, and just hoik it about 6 feet away into a spittoon between these two guys that look like they're playing some kind of card game between them. And it just says twing twing, and everyone just kind of looks at the thing and then looks at you all, and the mood just kind of settles, and everyone just sort of slowly goes about their business and turns away from you, and you're about 4 feet away from the bartender. Just kind of goes, "Ha, that's pretty good. Welcome to the Horseshoe. What can I get you guys?"
All right. A table and some food and drink.
All right. Abel, why don't you get them set up now? And you see him sort of shout to over his shoulder, where there's this young kind of tousle-haired elven boy with real lithe features. He's about maybe 4.5 feet tall, and he's got a big pair of circular spectacles resting on his nose. His blonde hair's cut kind of short and sort of haphazard and tousled. He just sort of snaps up. He's got a little black vest with a white shirt underneath. It's got some stains on it here and there, especially on the bottom parts of his black trousers. He's got a kind of a half apron on, and he grabs a tray. And he's like, "Right this way, fellas, come on." And he leads you over to kind of a table on the edge where it kind of allows you to overlook the whole tavern as well as the stage to your left. And right now it looks like there's a female half-elf with long blonde like wavy hair that tumbles past her waist onto almost hitting the floor as she sits on like a stool. She has this very elaborate wooden stringed instrument with a mouthpiece on one end, and she's just kind of strumming along this pleasant and easy listening, just kind of tune, just kind of setting the ambience as she begins to, you guys all kind of go to a table and the place sort of settles back into its attitude, and she kind of goes back to her strumming. She's kind of sitting there with her eyes closed, trying to get into the vibe. There is what looks like a small hat on the ground in front of her. It's got a few coins in it. And everyone just seems to be kind of going about their day. Time of day, by the way, it's about 6-7 o'clock at night. You guys sort of set out earlier yesterday morning, making your way here. So yeah, it's getting close to dinner hour. And Abel kind of sidles up to you. He's got a little scratch of parchment. He's like, "All right, I'm new to taking orders, so just, I gotta write it down. I haven't gotten to where I can memorize it yet, so what is it y'all would like?"
Let's see. Each of us, this mug of ale you've got.
All right, we got big ones.
Lord.
Good.
Okay.
Or is Maven a teetotaler?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. This, except for the lady here who will,
Water's fine.
whatever non-alcoholic quaff you have.
Well, I tell you what, Hamish over there, he makes a mean spiced juice if you're interested.
I will certainly try it.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ales, and a spiced juice. Okay. And what would you like to eat? We have we got a real good stew that's bubbling right now. It's just about dinner time, so that should be ready to serve. We also got Drake steaks, and that kind of hits a nerve with Maven a little bit.
The look on her face.
Me.
Not good. Yeah. not great.
We've also got a side of mutton, and we just got a shipment in of prairie chickens. So, up to you. What will you have?
Do you have anything without meat in it?
He just kind of looks at you and he's like, we got taters and carrots.
That'll work.
All right, taters and carrots for the elven lady. All right, well, I'll put your order in.
I'll have a piece of mutton.
Mutton it
Raw.
is. Raw. All right. And he's just kind of going around the table, taking orders. Axton orders Axton's going to go ahead and order a Drake steak despite the looks he gets from you. He's interested in what it tastes like. And so this kid just kind of like moves around the table, and just as he kind of tucks a pencil behind his ear, he's like, so if you don't mind me saying, you definitely look like strangers to the area. Where you guys hail from?
We hail from the west.
Oh, the west. Is that the northwest or the southwest? Because west of us is just the Grasping Ridge Mountains.
More southwest.
Southwest, huh? I never met anybody from that far south before. What do they got out there? Is it dangerous? Is it boring? Is it interesting?
Oh, it's anything but boring.
Cool. Well, like I said, I'm able. I'm your server. If you need anything, you want anything, you just raise your hand, shake your finger at me, and I'll be right over like 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And he's gonna turn around and toddle off towards the kitchen, and it's about that time that you kind of hear the sound of the evening music rising in tempo as a couple of other musicians join the stage. Looks like somebody's holding what looks like something like a tambourine. It's kind of like a horseshoe shape with little cymbals all over it, sort of shake and clatter and make noise. And there is what looks like a someone blowing some kind of a wind instrument, very long kind of pipe that kind of curls at the end, and just kind of setting a little bit more of a upbeat tone. So, Axton says, all right, well, we're here. What do we do now?
Well, I think first thing I'm going to do is let's look at the paper.
All right.
Kind of get an idea on goings on around here.
Mm-hmm. So there's a story of the main story is a set of twin bandits that are wanted on charges of murder, stagecoach robbery, and general mayhem, which apparently is its own charge. There's a 5,000 gold reward for them brought in alive. 2,000 reward for dead.
Okay.
It says that they were last seen layered on the prairie where the Grasping Ridge meets the Waning Meadow, due west of Cobb. So you get the feeling that it's over the lake and beyond, on the land beyond the Horseshoe Lake. The two brothers are identical twins and are identified by the they have large long guns, and they dress in shades of red and black.
They got names.
Yep. One's name is Terrence. The other's name is Castor.
Interesting.
Okie dokie.
The
Does it say
paper,
if they're like human or
it doesn't
elven
list
or-
it doesn't list their race.
okay?
But it does offer like a simple sketch That won't really help you here, except they're both male. You know, it could be human, could be elf, could be... They're not half orc. They're not real bulky. They both look kind of lean and lithe. But just a real simple sketch that I'll put together and I'll put in the chat later. The paper does fold out. It looks like it's not just a page. And to the left, to the bottom left and to the bottom right are two short articles. The first one is about a rumored silver strike that is looks like it's on land belonging to the Ashtani family, Ashtani family. It's on their land, but there's rights disputes based on workers that found it while renting property or leasing property, and it's devolved into a good old land battle. They're looking for able bodies to guard, vein deposits as well as those versed in common law to help differentiate what is and what is not legally claimed. The article to the bottom right is a kind of like the results of some kind of a livestock survey, and the paper is putting out notice that there have been complaints from various ranchers within the immediate area of livestock disappearing over the past couple weeks, and that anybody who can offer assistance or information as to what's going on is to speak to the sheriff. And then when you open it up, there are several articles as you kind of peruse. Some of them are advertisements. There's one for a potion shop in town. There's a couple of what look like kind of ads, general ads for small time work, digging a latrine, helping one of the older farmers in the area kind of bring in some crops. There's one of these big cattle ranching corporations that's not the same as the one you met. They're looking for ranch hands and things like that. And there are many articles of
the previous organization.
What's that?
I didn't have any way. The half orc said that they were a member of a certain operation. I couldn't write the notes down at the time.
Oh no, that's okay. I don't have that note in front of me right now. I do. Okay. I do know I said it was something, so I'll listen to the audio and I'll shoot that to you.
Cool.
But yeah, there is a couple of missing persons. Kind of more than you would expect, and unfortunately, it's mostly first name only. A lot of the descriptions of these people, it looks like they were either redacted or just not submitted. Looks like a range as far as age. It doesn't look like it's all one race or gender or age group. It seems like there's just missing people in the town of Cobb. There's at least 12 that you can see here. And just various local town articles of things of note, like they just put in a new well on the northeast side of town. The fishing has sort of seen a significant uptick since the weather got warmer. So there's a surplus of this bass. I think you guys bought one last week, so the price of fish is starting to go down and things like that.
Okay.
It's about that time they bring your ale. They slide a large, 20-ounce steak of pink meat under Axton's nose. He just kind of sniffs it. He's like, yummy. And he starts to dig into it as the rest of you kind of get your mutton and your stews and your salads and your potatoes and carrots and things like that.
Salad.
Salad's mostly just a chunk of iceberg lettuce.
Like a wedge salad.
Kinda, just
no
not a
fancy
wedge.
stuff on top.
Yeah. They pour some kind of speckled dairy product on top of it. I can't believe I just did that. Just about to do something too. All right. So, ground collectors, as you sit and tuck into your dinner, what would you guys like to do at this moment?
Well, as we're eating and drinking, I'm also keeping an ear out. I'm just listening to the music, just to try to figure out, the style, what kind of chords they use.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can make a perception check at advantage, as you guys are everyone's very hungry, so there's not a lot of chatter amongst you all. But you're kind of leaning over, looking at the stage, keeping an eye on what's going on over there. The young woman who was playing this like harpsichord, kind of oboe-looking weird apparatus. She's playing a little lower. She's strumming, and it's got kind of a I want to say kind of a Hispanic flair to it. Whereas she's kind of tapping her foot, and her head's bobbing, and everyone behind her is starting to pick up the pace, and you see people kind of getting up and kind of clapping their hand and hitting their knees, and you see a couple of people starting to hoot and holler, and the energy's starting to go up.
Okay.
Koza, what did you order?
I think I just would have ordered a simple ale.
An ale, eh?
Just sort of settled in for the night.
Right. Well, you're kind of looking around, and you kind of feel like this presence in your mind, almost like that feeling of being watched. Which you all are, by the way. Everyone is stealing glances and stares, and when you look over at them, they quickly kind of turn away, kind of mind their business. But that feeling with you is strange. It feels like it's right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, give me an Arcana check.
Alright. I'm okay with Arcana.
Okay.
Alright,
Ooh.
dirty 20.
That's pretty
Dirty
okay.
20. That is very okay. All right. Come on. Okay. So, as you get this feeling, you kind of look all around you, and you see this wispy little floating point of light that looks like it's right over whoever's next to you, right over their head, but there's a cone of very faint light that's gazing down at you. And then it vanishes. And over the shoulder, you hear a voice, kind of shouting a little over the din of the tavern. Dad!
This is in my head, you said?
No, this is... You all hear this.
I whip my head around and without thinking, I stand up, take a second to process who it is, and I'm going to let you speak before I do anything.
Okay. You turn around, and about maybe 25, 30 feet away, in what look like tavern wench's apron garb, you see a female furbolg that you recognize instantly as Neela, your daughter. Big, puffy, curly, floppy black hair with sort of a blue streak dyed in the front, and typical horns of a female furbolg that kind of sweep back, something she's always tried to kind of hide, but it looks like she's letting them grow a little longer than the last time you saw her. What you see with her arms outstretched is this.
My gods. I push past anyone that is in my way and just lift her up into a big swirling hug.
She wraps her arms around you.
I just hold her so close to my chest.
And you squeeze, and it's almost like you can feel yourself squeezing the air out of her lungs. And she's like, "Oh, Dad, oh!" And she just grabs you with all the strength of her female furbulk frame, and just wraps it around your shoulders. And you can feel her clasping her hands on the other side of your back. And she's just a couple feet off the ground, her feet just dangling. And you finally put her down and look at her in the eyes, and she is just drenched in tears, streaming down her cheek, her lower lip quivering.
I start wiping her cheeks. It's been so long. Too long.
I can't believe you're finally here. It's been...
I couldn't believe you were alive.
I know. I thought they killed you. I thought they killed everyone. And she just kind of like looks past you. And it looks like she's looking for someone. And she just instantly dives back into your chest, and you can hear her, you feel her shoulders heaving and her breath escaping as she sobs into your chest. And you see from a few meters away, you see the bartender just kind of looking over and is like, Neela! And he just kind of screams over the noise of the crowd. Neela, is that man attacking you? And you see like 3 or 4 people kind of spin around, and she just instantly like relieves herself from your grasp. She's like, no, it's okay. I know him. And she just turns around and looks at you, and this big, huge smile across her face as she gives you one last hug, and she's like, well, hell, welcome to Cobb, Pop. What the hell took you so long?
Well,
you said a couple of days.
Oh, well, there were some complications on the road, and I'm not the best at calculating distance, but I tried to get here as fast as I could once I knew you were here.
All of this is being discussed like 10, 15 feet away from the group, and it's kind of, there's a lot of chatter in the tavern, so you see Axe
my
just
God. I turn around and reveal the crowd. Let me, oh my gosh. Guys, this is Neela. These are the crown collectors. These are my friends. They helped me find you, and we've done a lot of good things together.
Well, how do you all do? Nice to meet you. Yeah, Axe is just... Like how we all pause, wait, and then all talk at the same time anyway.
All talk at the same time, yeah. I'll give a nice little bow.
It's like, wow, you got some exotic friends, Dad.
Well, I have so many stories to tell you.
Oh my God, I have so many stories to tell you.
I can't wait to hear them.
All right, well, I mean, I'm technically still on shift right now, but you guys want to meet after I get off a little later?
Wait, you work here?
Yeah, I work at the Horseshoe.
Oh my, good for you, Neela. They pay you well?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'll get into all that later. It's so good to see you. And she's gonna kind of like give you one last hug, and kind of look around and say, you know what? And she's gonna walk over to the bartender and be like, I'm taking off early. And he's like, but he's like, I'm taking off early. And he's like, fine, who are those people? And she's like, that's my dad. And he's like, oh my God. And, blah, 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 blah. And like, she just kind of like flips the apron over her shoulder and like walks behind the bar and tosses it in there and grabs a couple of what looks like a bag or something that she clips to her hip. And she races back over and she sits down at the table with all of you. She pulls his stool. She actually kicks a guy out of a stool and pulls his stool up and kind of squats over it. She's like, I can't believe you're finally here. Oh my God, I can't. I've been waiting so long to see you, and you've brought your friends, and you have very, I don't want to say strange looking friends, but they're very animated. And she
It's
just kind of
okay,
like,
you can say they're strange.
she kind of like takes a rag and like, she's like, and bloody, good Lord, what happened to you all?
Well,
Dinosaurs.
Funny thing happened on the way into town.
Neela, you have no idea how good it is to see you so alive and well. You look like your mother.
Well, that's what happens when you haven't seen someone for half a year, and I guess you look a little different too. I like the white that's coming out in your beard. And she just kind of like rolls her fingers through your nappy hair and your braids that have come half undone. She's like, "Oh my God, Dad, you are a mess."
The last few months have been kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything to do. I want to hear all about it.
All right. Well, where do I begin? I mean, do we feel like going into a whole recap of the last 6 months, or?
Well, while you two are chatting, I'm going to slip away and come up on stage with my mandolin.
Okay. I need you to make
All
a
right.
persuasion check, because the band isn't as receptive to some stranger just walking up to them while they're playing.
They are not done.
That's
feel like
27.
27. All right. So you kind of walk on stage looking as you do as a dragonborn, and also looking as you do with your clothes just shredded.
I changed shirts.
Okay, that's fair.
That's it, though.
I pack a few extra for just such an occasion.
You have to not look like you just fell through a meat shredder.
Like I just slow danced with a tiger. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the feather in your hat and mandolin in hand, you kind of start strumming along with, I'm guessing, keeping pace with the tone and the melody of what they're already playing. Mm-hmm. And the young elven.
As we
Go
get
ahead.
used to each other, as we start to get to each other and start jiving with each other, I'll start taking some riffs off of it just to try to add some spice.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make a performance check.
19.
19, good. That's good. So you kind of take an accompanying position as the young blonde elven woman stands to her feet. She puts that very elaborate instrument to the side, and she kind of grabs what looks like a wand with a little jewel at the very end of it. She holds it up to her mouth, and she starts to sing a folksy tune of warning and of safety out on the prairie at night, and how the beasts of the wilds can sneak up on you and things like that. It's kind of a cautionary tale of a song. And she's as she's kind of strumming along, Koza's sitting there kind of regaling Neela, who looks like she's paying attention, but she kind of hides a tear every now and then, like she's not really listening. She's just more paying attention to the fact that she's sitting in front of her father. And, I'd say you're halfway through a rushed version of something that you have all done in the last 6 months. And she just puts her hand on your hand on the table and just says, "Listen, why don't we get out of here? We'll retire to my place. It's got some room for your friends if they bunk together. There's also an inn not too far away, but I don't know. I feel like this would all do better if we were a little bit more alone. I got some."
Of course. I'll go talk to the team. I'll see what they want to do. I'd like to spend the night alone if that's all right.
So the evening goes along for maybe another hour. You know, you guys making idle chit chat.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start going up to different members of the, like, I'll start maybe with Maven and be like, listen, I'm gonna be bunking with my daughter tonight if that's all right. I'll meet you guys in the morning.
Oh yeah, totally. Of course, go. Go.
I trust you'll tell the rest of the group.
Oh yeah, it's
right.
fine. I will get everybody information.
Thank you.
She hugs him. Big hug. Big, solid hug.
I return.
So happy for you. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, you have no idea, Maven. This is such a relief.
Okay. Well, would you
I'll see you guys in the morning.
Meet back here tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. Go. Reconnect. Have fun.
All right, I'm gonna go off
Make
with
me look good in all your
my daughter.
stories.
As you leave the horseshoe with Neela, her kind of arm curled around yours, she definitely is still much smaller than you, but she looks like she's about a little taller than Maven. As a furbolg, she's, you're a large race. But she just seems, as you look at her, she seems so much more grown up than you last saw her. She's wearing much different clothes. She's not wearing, druid garb like she did last time she saw you. She's wearing what looks like some color in her cheeks and on her lips, maybe a little around her eyes. You don't recognize this blue streak in her hair. But there's something else you notice, and it's around her neck. She's wearing what looks like a dog collar. And this is definitely something you don't remember her wearing at all. And it strikes you as odd. And as you process that, you look, and across the street as you walk, you see two darkly dressed individuals with long duster coats. And they're both kind of posted up across the street. Looks like one's leaning on a cart, another one's got his leg kind of perched up behind him on some kind of a wooden pole. And look like they're both smoking these small white little cylindrical objects with smoke coming out of the end of them. Just kind of looking at you, and one of them's got this real long musket-like gun just kind of perched on his hip, pointing upward, and just kind of looking at you as they drag on these cigarettes is what they are, really. But as you're looking at them, this collar kind of piques your interest that she's wearing.
What's this around your neck?
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit. All right. Please be good. All right.
Okay. She answers in a way that satisfies you, but you know she's hiding something. And she just says, oh, it's just part of the uniform here. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And she kind of changes the subject real quick and says, and looks up at your tiara, and she's like, what is that you're wearing?
Oh, this is actually quite special. It allows me to travel through vast distances through trees that I've visited. So
really? You mean like Grandma can do?
Exactly like Grandma can do.
And she's just like, what she just said came out of her mouth quicker than she really thought to process, and she just says, Grandma. And you see her remembering what happened, and she closes off and shuts down a little and puts her head down.
Listen, we both went through something very traumatic together. You don't have to now, but if you need to process it, believe me, I'm here.
She just smiles and says, I know you're here. And she just kind of like leans into you and rests her head on your shoulder as you two walk, in and out of streets to what looks like some kind of dwelling butted up between like a laundry service where there's like hanging up skivvies and long johns over a line and some old, dwarven woman scrubbing them on a washboard in a big basin. And yeah, she just welcomes you in and puts a kettle of tea on and shuts the door behind you. And you see that there's definitely not room for everybody else. She doesn't have a lot of room, but it looks like there are 6 very small beds that have 6 very small children sleeping in them. And you recognize these as the Weave children. These were up-and-coming shaman in training for your clan. This was a tradition that you went through when you were young. And they're just 6 little furbolgs curled up in the fetal position under little blankets, just kind of snoring away. And she's like, let's go over here. It won't wake them. And there's a very small hearth with a chair and a big stool that looks like it could be an ottoman, and she kind of slides it over to you, and she starts a little fire. And she just kind of, as the fire goes and she sees you kind of post up on the stool, she just sort of leans her head on her hand and pays attention to whatever it is you're going to say. And we go back to the tavern with the group. What would you all like to do to kind of end the night?
Well, we need to find rooms, and I'll tell everybody about Koza wanting to spend a long time with his daughter, so.
Well, okay. Sure, no problem there.
Yeah, we'll have to get rooms, etc.
Mm-hmm. Well, asking around. What's that?
The Maven is obviously a little bit upset, but actively trying to pretend like she's not upset. And I don't even think she understands why she's upset, but she is.
All right, so as things are breaking up at the party, and I can see that they're starting to, break up and try to figure out the next, I'll just kind of end the tune and kind of give a smile and a nod off and a thank you, and I'll head on down.
Yeah, the lead singer, she kind of gives you like a wink that Maven definitely clocks. And the rest of the band kind of tips their hats, and you see people kind of flicking coppers and silvers. No gold, but you definitely catch a few of that. We'll say you catch 5 silver worth of currency.
Sure.
You've earned it.
All right. So I'll come on down, and I'll come up to Maven, and I'll just give her a quick little hug. It's like, that was fun.
She'll hug back a little awkwardly, more awkwardly than is normal.
Everything okay? Koza head off with his kid?
Yeah, he wanted to spend the night with her.
Sure. Any idea which way he went?
No. I wasn't paying attention then.
Well, because you just got me thinking, we don't know the whole story as to how she got here, and so we don't know if there's
anything about her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you the bartender knows where she stays at.
Yeah. Make them a little better coming from you than from me.
Are you sure?
Let's see. Slight, beautiful, elven female, big honking hulk of dragonborn.
You're a little bit more persuasive than me, babe. But I'll try. And unceremoniously, she just like turns and walks away.
Uh-huh.
Just like, hey. Hi. I don't think she's ever actually tried to flirt with anybody in her life, so this should be fun.
Uh-huh. So you're approaching the bartender, you said?
Yes, sir.
He's a large, hulking human. He looks like he might have a little giant or ogre in him, perhaps, a few generations away, maybe. I don't know. He's got, like I said, he's wiping glasses. He's wearing kind of the same outfit that Abel was. And he's got those little, I don't know what they're called, but those little those little bands that go around someone's elbows. That it seems like every Western bartender is wearing those. I don't know what they're called.
That is a good question. I don't know what they're called either.
Yeah. And he sees you, and he's just kind of pouring drinks and wiping glasses, and he's like, "Good evening, miss. What can I get for you?"
She'll just hop up on the stool and it's like, hi. So, one of my companions left with his daughter, Neela, as you saw, and I was just wondering if you might know where she lives, just in case we need to get him at some point in the evening.
He's gonna kind of squint his eyes a little and cock his head, and he's like, not really supposed to give out the details of employees, if you know what I mean, ma'am.
Please, and she'll smile and just try to be as cute as humanly possible.
Go ahead and make a persuasion
Elvenly
check.
possible. Persuasion check.
I'm helping you because we have our moon crescent ears. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I forgot about those.
yeah, I'm like, just offer him 2 silver for the time and the inconvenience and to help make up for the early shift.
All right. Well, you can go ahead and make a persuasion at advantage because he's helping you, and you can deduct 2 silver.
No problem. That'll be a solid 12.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's good for you.
For the help there, because the first roll was a natty 1. So
Ooh, that would have been so fun.
that would have been fun.
So, Kravish, I have to imagine that you're like 10, 20 feet away at the other end of the bar, just kind of like nursing a mug, but also looking like through your fingers to see how she's doing. And she's attempting this like real nasally smile. That's just kind of looking at him like,
Why are you looking at him like you're constipated?
It does look like that.
I'm just gonna take the earring out for a second. Just take it out of her ear completely and sit it on the table.
Well, the bartender's going to go ahead and place his hands over the silver, slide it over to his side of the bar. He's going to kind of lean, and he's going to lean not uncomfortably close to you, but closer than he was. He's about maybe 2.5, 3 feet away from you at this point. And he's going to kind of look at the end of the bar, and as he's pouring some brown liquid from a large glass flask into a tankard, he's just kind of muttering. He's like, "She's on the northwest end, over by the Dwarven Laundry Service." Did you hear that?
Was I muted? I was.
No. How does that just happen?
Yeah. No, I mute my mic itself so I don't have to try to remember to click it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
And so
Seems like it
that's all
presents the same
that's all it
problem.
it's a little bit easier because like yeah, little red light in my line of vision. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she'll just say thank you and drop off the stool and put the earring back in her ear and walk over and relay.
And as she walks
information.
up, I'm just like, really? Like with my hands out, like, really? You gonna do me like that?
She just nods.
What I do?
So, as you walk over...
She literally doesn't know why she's upset. And it's very disconcerting.
As you walk over and Kravish gives you grief. You both notice at the other end of the bar, actually, Kravish, you notice it first because you were looking at Maven down the bar. You notice that past her, about maybe 6 or 7 people further down the bar, you notice a kind of a tall, it looks kind of like it looks small for a Goliath, but it's very gray skin and the black facial tattoos, hiding under a wide-brimmed kind of rancher hat, all in black, all in black or dark brown, long duster coat. And you see pinned to his chest is a 7-pointed tin star. And he's just kind of nursing what looks like a tankard, and he is looking directly at both of you. And just doesn't say anything, doesn't acknowledge you meeting eyes with him, just takes a sip from his ale, and his eyes just kind of fixate on the both of you.
So I'll just as I like when I'm like, really, what? As she's huffing off, I'll turn, I'll see this, and then she'll hear, and Maven will hear mentally, it's like, we got somebody with eyes on us.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Big gray mountain of a man.
Great.
And I'll just say, black duster. You said black duster, wide-brimmed hat.
He's hard to miss.
Yeah, and she'll get that visual, because as I'm seeing it, I'll just kind of transmit it visually.
Interesting.
As you kind of look around, you notice there's another dark-clothed individual at the back of the bar, and he's got what looks like a rifle slung over his back, and he's at a stand-up table, like a standing table, like a little round standing table, with what looks like a female in kind of a very flowy, lacy pink and purple dress, and they're both kind of drinking, and you're getting this feeling like maybe the guy at the bar and the guy at the back, they're dressed very similarly. But the two at the table are looking at you and leaning towards each other and muttering things that you can't make out from this far away.
I will kind of mentally send a message to Maeve, and it's like, why don't you go ahead and get the others and let's make a group exit out of here.
Gotcha.
Don't just nonchalantly, don't raise any suspicion.
Do I know how to nonchalant? I'll try. Yes.
Although we all know you're chalant as hell.
I'm very chalanty. Yeah, so I will try to nonchalantly walk over there.
Your passive wisdom, Kravish, is enough to where as she walks away, you can see that both the Goliath at the bar and the could be a human, could be an elf, everything's all kind of covered up. At the back of the bar with the female, definitely look at both of you, back and forth, like she's walking to the table, you're staying at the bar, it looks like they're glancing at her, they're glancing at you, they're keeping eyes on you, and not for nothing, they're not alone. There are lots of people in the bar that are like looking at you guys because you look so incredibly different than everybody that's here. And one of you just got down from the stage, so you guys obviously are a bit of a spectacle. But Axton kind of wipes his mouth and he's like, "All right, well, where are we going?"
That is the question of the evening.
I'll say in your dinner, you could have gleaned from either Abel or one of the other tavern wenches that there's a place nearby called the Copper Nickel. And it's a general hotel, 3 stories, about maybe 6 or 7 rooms each story. It's one of the taller buildings in the town.
Okay, cool. So we will head over there to try to find accommodations.
All right. The rooms are definitely much more sophisticated than any inn you've ever stayed in, and that still feels like this isn't the fanciest place in the town to stay. All the walls are covered in some kind of like deep red or deep blue kind of filigree or leaf pattern wallpaper, which most of you haven't bothered to stay in or seen before. A couple of well-made couches in each room and a bed and things like that. It's a little pricey. It's going to cost you $1 apiece to stay the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And yeah, I'm going to say that, is there anything anybody wants to do before turning in tonight and into the morning?
Yeah, but we're going to take the long way to that hotel. We're going to walk up towards that dwarven laundry.
Okay.
And just kind of check out around there, because now my spidey senses are tingling here a little bit. So I want to check out that area.
Okay. Did you want to like look at the house itself, or are you just scanning the perimeter of it?
We're just walking down the road, just coming up and then coming around the house, just checking things out, asking, everybody to keep their senses up.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Axton, in his clunk ability, is going to kind of stay on the main thoroughfare, and he's going to watch your back as you kind of go further into the town from the main road. And, he's just going to kind of be like, I'll see if anyone follows you.
Fair enough.
So with his perception, which is pretty good, let me get a perception from you, Kravish, and I'll take one from Maven as well.
21.
All right, that's pretty good. Okay, I'll say that with a 21...
Dirty 20.
And a dirty 20, and Axton, he got an 18, which is actually really low for him. You notice that there's nobody following. You do feel like there are people traipsing around the back alleys of this neighborhood, but it's all in mostly darkness, and it's too dark for anybody to see how out of place y'all look, so you don't really feel like anybody's like got eyes on you back here. And, with the way Maven can kind of get around without being heard or seen, you feel also that this place is just a neighborhood. It's not being monitored, watched, guarded, or anything like that. So, you do see a house that's sort of nestled next to a dwarven laundry. You don't see anybody actually doing any laundry, but you see a bunch of lines with clotheslines and clothes hanging from pins and such like that. And you see the house has a dim glow in the frosted window.
Are you gonna peek inside and peek in the window, or what's your plan?
I'm not gonna. You can. You're probably the most stealthy one we got.
I mean, with Barynor not here, very much probably so. I'm not that stealthy, but I'm a little bit stealthy. You want me to go look to check to make sure he's okay?
Yeah, you creep up to the window. You don't need a stealth check because the occupants are rather focused. And you can see the glow is coming from a small hearth. Very quaint little place. You see 2 firbolgs, one sitting in a chair, one sitting on a stump, and both of them just, their eyes full of tears, and it looks like they're muttering to each other. And, one will say something, and Neela will lean on her hand and listen, and then Neela will say something, and Koza will just put his head in his hands and listen intently, and occasionally they'll break down and weep, and occasionally they'll reach across and kind of hold each other, and that's what you get for the 10-15 seconds that you're looking at them.
Okay, they're good. They're fine.
Great.
But
hey,
it is them in there, so.
I've seen you, summon a magical creature, like a familiar. Is there some way we could have something keep watch here?
I mean, it'll take me an hour to summon it, because, you guys sent my last one through a magic portal that destroyed it.
Technicalities. Can you do that, we can go leave out of here rather than just sit here idly by for an hour? Can we do this at the hotel?
I mean, I can summon it in the hotel, yeah.
Yeah, and then just direct it over this way. Cool.
Yeah, we can go do that. It'll take an hour, like I said.
That's fine.
Okay. You're summoning, what is it called? Guard dog or something?
Find familiar.
We'll just find familiar.
Oh,
like a raven or
find
whatever
familiar.
it is you
Okay.
normally cast.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, if you have, do you have the incense? I'm guessing you got a bunch of it. I think you did buy a whole bunch of it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use a 4th level spell slot to summon the Faithful Hound.
That's it.
It's
Faithful Hound.
ridiculous.
Okay. Your raven is summoned. It doesn't just patrol the street that Neela lives on. It also kind of patrols the whole town. It makes a couple of sweeps. And you don't see any other really flying creatures in the area. Everything seems to be quieting down except for the main thoroughfare where the taverns are getting a little rowdy and things like that. But you, in your time using your familiar, you also do not notice anything like keeping tabs on her house. Not anything that you can tell just from looking around anyway. There's nobody on rooftops with spy glasses or anything, binoculars. And your rooms at the Copper Nickel are very inviting and very comfortable. Koza, I will say that her telling you, what she's been through, it's been a lot of it was on a lot of on the run stuff for the first few weeks. It was difficult bringing the Weave children with her because they slowed her down. She wasn't really chased by the walking rot, but it was a matter of hiding from road bandits or fending off creatures of the wilds. And she ran it. You told her to run and keep running and run as far and as fast as she could. And so she did, and she found herself kind of taking the similar route that you took to Cobb, where she just wrapped around the Grasping Ridge, sleeping in the bushes, performing her druidic magic for, pennies, so she could maybe every now and then afford an inn room where they could all be warm for the night. And it wasn't until she found herself in Cobb that she was able to find gainful employment while she waited for you. Not really thinking she would ever see you again, but kind of hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that there is something like a gap in her memory when you ask her, like, how did you come to work here? And you ask her again about the collar, and she's real dodgy about it. But it gets late. She attributes it to she's tired, she worked hard all day, she wasn't expecting to see you. And, she offers that tomorrow that she would like to give you and your companions a tour of the town and show you what she's found here while she's been here for, about 4 months she's been here. She hasn't worked here the entire time she's been gone, that you've been gone. And you feel yourself very tired. And just sort of mentally and emotionally exhausted. And the two of you end up snoozing with her curled up in your lap, just like when she was little, in the chair that she was sitting in. And you find yourself sort of drifting off to sleep as well. All right. Barynor. Wake up, Bogey.
Yes. Hello.
I'm here.
I can hear you.
You spent the night in the forest that sort of hugs the shore. There's maybe a mile of this forested area on the east shore of the peninsula of Cobb.
Is that by the Ravenswood?
No, I'm going to.
Is Ravenwood a city? Okay,
Ravenswood is
A town or something?
A town, yeah. Hold on a minute.
Okay, but the same wood that Ravenswood is, or
No.
or part of?
Ravenswood is to the west. You are to the east of the peninsula, east shore of the peninsula, and I'm trying to... Can't figure out what's going on with Roll20 for me. It's freezing on the map. I don't know if you can see Cobb.
I can.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Ravenswood is to the west.
Yeah, you're on the east shore of the peninsula
Okay.
that makes up Cobb. And you're like
Gotcha.
southeast. You're like right where it starts to go towards Cobb. Here it is. It's loading up.
Where
Is
the
where...
S and the H are in Horseshoe.
Yeah. That's where you and Luna sort of scampered off to... because she had heavy breathing, she had signs of maybe pre-labor, and she was not inclined to run anymore. She was doing a lot of fast walking.
Okay.
And as the night draws to a close, you hear her. She wanted to be alone for like the actual act, so she kind of crawled under the root ball of an overturned tree. And, you can hear her kind of whining a little, bleating a little.
Sure.
And you can hear the sounds of an animal giving birth into the night.
Okay.
And I need you to go ahead and make a perception check and a survival check.
All right. Perception first. Oh, I can do better than that. Let's add a D8 because I'm proficient. Okay, 18 on perception and survival. Much better. Why not? I'll add a D8 to that as well. 29. So 18
right.
Perception, 29 survival.
All right. You focus your attention to the surrounding area. You're pretty sure that she's got this. That's the emotional kind of telekinetic feeling you're getting from her is leave me be. Just keep watch kind of a thing. So that's what you do. You walk a wide perimeter circle all around her little hidey hole. And you don't find much. It's not a dense forest, so you're kind of able to really see through the darkness between the trees. You don't really hear much movement past maybe some, small or maybe medium woodland creatures, maybe antelope or the like, maybe like, ferrets or squirrels or raccoons or something, kind of prancing around the place. And you don't find anything interesting on the ground. It doesn't seem like this particular forest is occupied by, a humanoid civilization or anything. It's kind of a tense night for you. Every noise you hear in your protection of Luna is, something to focus on, but it ends up being nothing. You get a little bored. You do a little hunting. You kind of bullseye sort of a ground squirrel with just a regular arrow. But your attention and distraction, keeping tabs on Luna, gets to the point where you don't even really want to butcher it. You're just like, I shot that. You retrieve your arrow.
Sure.
And you can hear the noises at her little hole start to subside. And as you kind of tiptoe back over there to check on her, you notice that she is, with her back to you, dead asleep. And you can hear little whimper sounds.
Oh.
Not exactly sure how many, or you can't see them. She's kind of curled around whatever she's hiding, and she's also behind like strands of root material, kind of keeping her warm and what she thinks is safe and things like that. And that's kind of how you end your night. You sort of lean up against the root ball behind her, and with your back, you're facing out, and you've got your bow and your daggers, and you just kind of like drop off.
Okay. Before I go to bed, before I drop off, I'm going to pull out my sending stone and send a quick message to Shen.
Okay.
To get word to Iyethara.
Oh, okay.
Briefly explaining what's happened and where I am.
Well, it's about, let's see, time. You guys are in different technical time zones. I'd say they're like, where is Iyethara? Is Iyethara in Dane or in... No, she's in Rathburn with the Marquis, I think, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're setting up shop somewhere else.
Yeah, I'd say she's an hour behind you. Let's just say that. So
okay.
it's a good 11:30, close to midnight. And right. what would Iyethara be doing on like a Thursday night, close to midnight?
Probably. Shut up. Yes. Okay.
Performing a heist
asshole.
Better than other people do.
Hey, I haven't gotten to the heist yet. I just finished the first episode. Corey, at one point, Corey was like, I've been taking notes too. And I just laughed hysterically and was like, yes, we know. We know you have been. No, but I'm guessing she's probably on like a Thursday. If she's not on some kind of like mission, she's probably getting ready to turn in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not necessarily like asleep or anything.
Well, as soon as you hear in your head and you recognize who it is and you hear the word puppies, you drop whatever it is you're holding, like you were brushing your hair maybe, or like unbuckling a strap on your leather armor.
To be fair, the sending stone goes to Jen. Jen would then relay a message to Iyethara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that Jen doesn't get around to it. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Oh.
I figured it was late. I would just get the message going.
He never finds out.
Oh, she's going to be pissed.
Both Iyethara and Barynor would kill Jen if that was the case.
Oh, yeah. No, poor Jen.
Yeah.
You hear back, Barynor. You hear...
I mean, it's late. I don't expect a reply back.
Alas, poor Jen, we knew him well.
Oh no, you get a reply. Jen was up. He was not asleep.
Okay.
Okay. He kind of you hear it, after you relay that to him. He waits a few seconds, and you hear, Barynor, it is very good to hear from you. I'm glad to hear your companion has successfully had her pups. Yes, I will relay this to Iyethara. I cannot guarantee that she will not immediately fly to your location, but I know she has been speaking of it, and it cuts off there.
Yeah. Okay.
She will immediately fly to the location.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
And if there's anyone Barynor's going to trust with Luna and puppies, it's Iyethara. So, anyways, so I fall asleep after that.
All right.
Steph,
The morning
you okay over there?
Can't contain it.
Oh.
Wait till you see. Just wait till you see.
Oh, no, he has this prepared.
You're gonna freak the fuck out.
Of course he does. Oh, I probably will. I'm definitely going to.
Yeah.
Guys, he's been working on stuff all week at work.
Oh, good.
Like, I can't look at his computer 80% of the time because he's working on stuff.
Yeah, that's why.
Love that. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
The morning finds you all in different places. Barynor, you awaken and you can hear a small animal-sounding squeaking sound. Multiples of them coming from the root ball that Luna has taken up residence in. However, you kind of turn around and you notice that she's not there. But you do see what looks like she dug like a little pit and lined it with she pulled fur out of her own, winter coat and coated it and lined it with it. She dragged leaves and branches and stuff like that. So you see like shifting movement on these little packages inside this nest, this little mini temporary den, but you do not see Luna.
Okay. Do I see any tracks? There's still snow on the ground, right?
It's kind of the I don't know if you heard this, but as you guys moved north, it strangely started to increase in temperature. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, mostly in folds of tree roots and directly under big dense trees. But out where you can see the sun, it's been melted away. So there's trace amounts of snow. But you do see tracks
in the dirt or anything. Okay.
Yes, you do. They lead deeper into the woods, what you feel is probably like a northeast direction.
Okay. I'll just kind of sit and keep watch. She's obviously trusted me with looking after them, so I'm going to sit and look after them.
Yeah. It's about maybe 30 minutes where you're starting to get to where you're like, should we move on? Should we stay here? As you're kind of keeping watch and questioning that, you can hear her tippy-tap footsteps through the woods, and she has 2 rabbits in her mouth.
Aww.
They're dead. They're dead rabbits.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And she just kind of drops one at your foot, and she takes the other one into the little cave. And she really doesn't pay you any mind.
Okay. That figures. What happened to the one I killed the other night, or the previous night? Is it gone?
I mean, that was maybe 300 meters away in a random direction when you were kind of patrolling, and you just kind of left it there. You shot it and you looked at it and you're like, I don't really want to eat that.
Okay, yeah, okay, I got you.
You just got bored and wanted to shoot something.
Okay, I understand where she's coming from, and I'll take the breakfast that Mama Wolf has provided.
Yeah, definitely feels like it could feed you for breakfast.
Sure.
And
no stranger to eating rabbits for.
That's meals, right. You can hear her kind of tearing it apart in the hovel, and you hear that whimpering sound actually kind of go away while she's in there.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, because they're little.
They're whittle-iddle. Everyone else...
They're just itty bitty babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. So Maven, Yuno, and Axton and Kravish are in the Copper Nickel Hotel. You can hear the clip-clop of footsteps as the morning comes to you all, of people roaming the halls. You can hear a little idle chatter. It sounds like someone's talking about getting up and getting out for the day, and what they're looking to find in their someone's got a claim someplace they want to go check out that day, and someone else is arguing that the bed was stiff. Noah, you awaken to the smell of cooking bacon.
Meat.
Bacon.
It's overpowering. It immediately lifts your head off of your hand as you fell asleep in the chair last night. You look right at your feet, and the hearth is cold and blackened, and all the wood is burned down. And you hear behind you, "Oh, I was wondering when you were gonna get up, Dad."
Oh, that smells delicious. What are you making?
"Oh, burnt bacon. I got some taters in here. Just
how I
local
like it."
fare." Yeah, and she brings you a plate of 6 or 7, big, thick cuts of bacon. Not grocery store bacon. This is wild bacon you just you slice off the back of the hog. And
This is British bacon.
Yeah, there's like 6 big, huge, thick strips of bacon burnt black, and there's potatoes and looks like a half an apple in there. And
I crunch into one of the strips of bacon and just.
It's been a long time since you've had bacon cooked like that.
It's been a long time since I've had a home-cooked meal.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of rations, a lot of nuts and cherries and dried fruit and
Good
beef
berries.
jerky. Yeah, a lot of good berries. Yeah, you're kind of sick of good berry.
They're sweet, but they're very tart.
The rest of you are treated to sausage and eggs and potato and fruit and stuff like that. It's actually a pretty decent meal for a gold a night. They all provide it for you. And as you kind of, I don't know if you guys hang around the hotel, but at least walking out the front door, you do not see any of those darkly clothed people that you saw in the tavern. They don't appear to be walking the streets, at least not here.
Okay, so good. So we all get to apply a long rest.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep, everyone gets a long
Thank
rest.
I was inside the mouth of a T-Rex yesterday, so that was fun.
And, yeah. I'm going to say, Kravish, your clothes are ruined. There are tears way bigger than a foot. However, your armor would be punctured by individual teeth, and though each of those punctures are smaller than a foot. So I'm going to say that Axton goes ahead and casts mending all over your armor and completely restores it.
Okay, great.
Perfect. And we go close the door. Look like
I'll
they've
just
been
have
through
one of
meat
my
grinder.
spare outfits.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the shirt, unfortunately, had to be sacrificed to the battle gods.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't bring spare clothes with me. I need to go find a clothier. I probably should bring spare clothes with me, now that I think about it, but...
Well, what kind of pack do you have as a D&D character? Do you have like a dungeoneering pack? Everyone's got like a backpack, right?
Yeah, a backpack of some kind. I don't remember what I chose. It might have been like a explorer's pack is probably it. Or maybe it was like a priest pack? I don't remember what I picked.
I didn't
It could be
hear
a
it in the
priest
in the older ones, but do we have our horses with us?
Yes.
Or do we rough?
Yes, we do.
So they probably have saddlebags worth full of clothes.
Yeah, I usually pack a couple of different pairs.
You have your Majesty's matched luggage, okay? You're almost at the changelings level.
Me? Me? No. I keep all my clothes. I added a chest onto my inventory solely so that I could put stuff in it that I don't have on me. So I don't have to try to remember.
Anywho. All right. So a clothier, if you're looking for a clothier, yeah, there was I think Kravish had the right idea on where to go for leather goods. And if that is indeed what you're doing after you have your morning fast break.
Constitutional.
Yep. You come to it's on the corner of like a side street off the thoroughfare. It's called the Leather Feather.
Leather feather.
Yep.
Sounds like a
Red
fetish
leather,
shop.
yellow leather.
Yep.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Sounds like a fetish shop.
A little bit.
Maybe it is.
I mean, Mad Max
Maybe.
was all about that shit.
That's right. It's a lot of earth tones in here. You walk in, it smells like sandalwood and fresh tanned leather. It's interesting. The sign hanging above the entrance. It's not a dangling sign. It's actually a huge leather, like someone took a huge strip of leather and cut a feather out of it and like pasted it to a placard. So there's a lot of chaps, a lot of vests, a lot of hats, a lot of boots, a lot of and there are all different kinds of styles. There's some very very simple and traditional, just wide-legged chaps with no fringe, and then there's some that has all the bells and whistles and buckles and frilly bits, and they're colored like black and white splotchy like a cow, and all manner of such. To where as you kind of step through the door and admire the different raiments, you hear the clip-clop of hooves approach you from behind like a back section. Just clip-clop, clip-clop, clip-clop. It gets a little closer. And you look and you see what looks like a kind of a fawn torso dressed in kind of a simple brown shirt with sort of looks like a tape measure around this person's neck. It's a male, has like deer ears that extend out the side of his head, and tall fawn horns, just very sharp spiked, about 5 inches tall at the top of his forehead, with a very deer looking nose and kind of full black eyes. And very, very tall, a lot taller than you assumed. And as he steps between a rack, you notice that he has a set of horse legs. And he steps out further, and you notice that he has a horse's body.
Okay.
This is a centaur who greets you. And you hear him, he looks like he's chewing on a piece of... It looks like rope. You're not exactly sure what it is, but he's kind of chewing on it. And he's like, "Good morning to you all."
Good morning.
Morning.
"Welcome to the Leather Feather. How can I help you? Something particular that you're looking for?"
Well, we're new in town, and we're just looking for some clothes to help better fit in.
All right. Well, I can certainly help you with that. And he's going to kind of direct you over to... And honestly, Kravish, aside from appreciating the local fare for what it is, you're kind of bored in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't appeal to your flair, for sure. But everything looks well made. It looks sturdy, especially the boots. And he also shows you that he can adjust boots if you want to wear boots. He can adjust a couple of pairs that he's got made for half ogres and ogres alike that he can adjust to make them fit your feet. A full outfit is going to be 15 gold. He also offers a little sturdier clothing that can give you some protection. You can treat it as leather, studded leather, things like that. But everything has kind of let's face it, a Western flair. There's trousers that sort of accommodate a pair of boots. There's a couple pairs of spurs that go on the back of your boots that you guys have never seen. He kind of explains what they're for. And I will add stats to travel time if you use spurs, because they can perhaps make you a little faster on a horse. He's got... I don't know, how many people are there? Axton's going to be with you. Are you with them too? Are you getting some clothes, or are you sticking with your robes?
I'm going to stay with my robes.
Okay.
Although, you know what? Is going to go for a very nice pair of stylishly made black leather cowboy boots.
All right.
Because why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going for the assless chaps.
All chaps are assless. That's the point of them.
That's true. That is true. He outfits you with this pair of kind of calf-high, folded over at the top cuff, but very tight and cinched, silver-trimmed black leather boots that end in a very defined, blunted point at the toe. And every time you walk, even though you don't have spurs, there's like a clink sound. And he kind of looks at you, he's like, those look like those will fit just fine. He goes, how about a hat, sir?
Kind of like the thing
as you
to
ask
have
that, he just kind of
around here.
reaches behind a cabinet and pulls a hat down and puts it right on his head. And he goes, oh, yes, everyone has a hat in Cobb. It's a little uncouth if you don't cover your head.
Ah.
Yuno's gonna go with a nice 10-gallon, also
Oh,
black
yeah.
leather hat.
Nice. Oh, I'm writing that down.
I'm gonna have him stitch a little fireball just in the front.
Okay.
Nice.
He doesn't need to stitch it. He has this little, I mean, let's face it, it's a Western town, but we're still in a fantasy setting. So he pulls this little chalk-sized wand and sort of traces something on the front. I'm guessing like the front of the hat.
Yep.
Yeah, a little fiery dollop that, doesn't glow or anything, but it's definitely like orange and yellow and looks like a little flame. And
You know what? Since we're in a western town, do they have guns? I feel like we need to all get guns.
so he doesn't really respond to the word gun. He does let you know that there are iron workers here that are working with the new technology of blunderbusses and flintlocks and things like that, and then he mentions the Wranglers. He says the Wranglers have the best guns, but I don't think you're going to be welcome to purchase any from them.
Not welcome? What did we do?
Well, they're not merchants per se. They're more of a walking around guard type. I'm not particularly a fan of the Wranglers. I think that their tactics can be a little hard-nosed, but they do a good job of keeping order here in Cobb. So I guess we got to be grateful where we can take it.
Any way you can tell a Wrangler? They wear like a special patch or hat or anything like that?
Well, they all have they all have a 7-sided tin star on their chest, and they tend to dress darkly.
Okay. Are they hired by the town?
They're hired by the Reverend, of course. They work for the sheriff.
By the Reverend. Ah, okay.
It's your first time to Cobb?
Can't you tell?
Well, yeah. You're going to want to just steer clear of the Wranglers. They're obviously here to do a job, and they don't really take kindly to outsiders, from what I've experienced myself. But, and he just kind of, doesn't withdraw from the conversation, but he definitely goes along to measure someone else and walks away from Kravish a little bit.
Gotcha.
It's going to be, so for full outfits, it's going to be 15 apiece. If you're just getting a hat and boots, it's only going to be 7 gold.
I feel like I also need a belt.
Belt? Yeah, he'll throw a belt in.
I feel like he needs a nice leather, with a holster for his wand. I feel like that.
Cool.
I feel like that's what to go with.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah. And I'll get a full outfit. I don't have to worry about it being leather or anything like that. My natural armor class is better.
Sure. He sells, cotton and cotton blend, just button-up shirts, suspenders, duster coats. He sells, regular length jackets, and he's got every single shape, size, and color and style and earth tones of hats. He's got trilbies, he's got bowlers, he's got 10-gallon, he's got, rancher hats, cowboy hats, flat hats, all manner of headwear.
Gotcha. Any way we can get the color changed?
Well, I don't dye leather here. People seem to kind of take my natural tones for what they are, but there's a fancy shop on the other end of town. I think it's called the Peacock or something like that. That they got dyes and such from I think it's all the way west in Marguerite or something like that. They got fancy clothes there, but not a lot of people dress in fancy clothes. At least not the ranch hands and the fishermen and things like that.
All right, cool. So, and my outfit's going to be black as well.
Okay.
It'll make the silver scales stand out a little better.
It certainly will. I think you bought a black leather outfit once before.
Yeah.
I think it's when you bought your black hat that you're probably wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I probably still have the big duster.
Yeah, very well me.
Yeah. So I'll just get the new, pants and shirt. And you know what? I'll get a new duster as well.
Nice.
That one's kind of old.
You wore it so many times. It's so worn out, I'm sure. I mean, I'll say that the longer that you're in here and kind of considering this style, the more you're like piecing together outfits in your head and starting to get into it a little more. But you all do kind of find yourselves walking out of there, blending in much better. And I demand that everybody send me their hat choice. I know that Yuno wants a 10-gallon hat, and I can't wait to put that on his head. But yeah, as you guys kind of, step out of this place and make your way into the main thoroughfare, Barynor, I'm gonna say that you spent a little bit of time, and it's about like maybe 11 o'clock to noon at this point. You did spend some time with Luna and got the feeling that she is okay if you want to reunite with the group. She's very busy and she's able to care for them herself. So if you don't have to stay here, but I'm going to stay here for the time being.
Okay. And through our bond and connection, I'll relay to her that I have notified Iyethara, who she loves Iyethara. And Iyethara will most likely be by at some point. I kind of gave her, the area where I'm at. Yeah. And if she's sure, then, I understand. So I know that she won't be wanting to move much without them, or with them.
Yep. You I'll say that you got a peek. She let you look at them. I'm not going to discuss what that looks like right here.
Okay, how many?
I'm not going to say that either.
Oh, wow.
I had a number in my head, but I wasn't sure if you had art already, so I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I have art. It will wait.
Okay.
Sorry. But
after kind of a long pause, I'll pack my things and trudge into town, I guess.
Yeah, on your horse, it doesn't take you long, but a few hours to, you're at a fast pace. And you're able to make it into town a little faster than they did. So by about the 12 o'clock hour, you kind of see them walking the street. And at this point now, people really aren't looking at you, or people really aren't looking at Kravish and Maven and them. They're looking at you. As you step through town, or walk through town on your horse, you're wearing your dark green studded leather armor and carrying a bow and
it's not studded leather anymore, remember? It's the serpent scale.
Oh, yeah. Well, it just looks very out of place here. And you see your companions walking the streets as Koza and Neela emerge from a side street. You all kind of congregate in the middle. And Koza, I'm gonna speak for you just for a moment. Hope you don't mind.
How dare you?
But kind kind of greet
He's been
each
speaking
other.
for
and,
me for like 3 weeks, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Partners?
Axton just kind of tips his new hat, and he's like, "Afternoon, gentlemen," and trying his best kind of accent, and Koza as kind of ghost-faced. The color sort of has drained from his face, and he just kind of looks at you all, and he's like, "Good morning. We need to talk." And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh, shit. What do I
I'm
know?
ready to go for like 3 more
What
hours.
do I know?
Fine.
I'm over here like, did
Let's go.
Accent hit his head in the last couple days or something?
Yep. We'll get to it.
No.
Ugh.
Hey, waiting. I'm not good at this.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. It's time to quit.
It's only 3 o'clock
Are you
here, so it's
sure?
fine.
That's true.
I mean,
It
we
is
still
only.
got 3 hours over here on the West Coast. So
Yeah,
So how does June 29th look for everybody?
looks good to me.
fine.
Should be
June
good.
29th should be good for me. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be good to go.
Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
should
be-
be good.
It's going to be good for Axton as well. I'm going to make that executive decision.
I mean,
Good
I
to
mean,
know, good to know.
Barry ain't exactly here to protest.
No, not quite. But yeah, I'm really glad you guys are here, by the way. And I mean that both in body and spirit and setting. I'm excited for you guys to discover what is going on in this place. This strange place that none of you have ever seen an aesthetic like this before.
No,
I'm sorry,
not at
time
all.
has just been bad for me.
That's okay. Are you going to be back next week?
Yeah, I'll be back next week.
Awesome.
I don't know about the 13th, to be honest.
Jesus Christ, man.
July
I don't-
13th.
I don't know when drill is. I need to look to see when drill exactly is for the July.
Yeah.
I gotta
Okay.
pop off. See you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. See you,
All
buddy.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
All right. Well, that was fun. I'm so excited. I have so much to show you that I want to put everything on the internet, and I'm just biting my nails that I don't.
I want to know
reveal
what
things.
secrets I know that appeared.
I want to know everything.
July 13th will not be good for me. So
Okay. All
Oh
right.
my
well,
God, dude.
so we'll make sure that
July 12th through the 14th.
we'll make sure that everything important happens next week, and that's it.
There we go.
All right, guys. I'm hopping off, but I'm really glad that we were all able to meet today. This was awesome. The setup is everything for me. I'm sure some of you can really understand that. So
He's been talking about this all week. He's
I'm
been
super
excited
excited.
to play.
I can't
wait to
wait.
play.
All right. So we'll see you on the
Until next
29th,
time.
folks. Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.